two.
Alrighty, what is up, everyone, and welcome to CVal Grand Finals, taking place online between our own USC Cardinal and UC Berkeley's Cal Esports Blue. I am your host, Superb, and joined here today with Blink here at the analyst desk. Why don't we say hi, Blink?
That's right, Superman here. We're coming at you live from the firehouse. We got a watch party going on here up on the big projector. We'll be seeing all the action. Of course, we will be giving you our thoughts in between the games here. We have a set of casters here as well to bring you the action remotely. It's been a long road. We came a long way. 8th seed in this CVal tournament bracket. Here's the upper bracket for you. We taking down the first seed, second seed, and 5th seed. Most notably, round 1 against UCI.
Yeah, well, Blink, now that you mentioned it, USC Cardinal has had a very long road throughout this journey through CVal. More specifically, we didn't. It was absolute. It was actually like quite incredible for us to best UCI, considering we had known of their very powerful lineup of players, but yet they triumphed anyways, knocking them down to the losers bracket, where they eventually got bested by, I do believe, Cal again. Of course, Cal being the other notable adversary. If you had tuned into our streams, you will notice that 2 weeks ago we actually played that very team. We took them all 3 rounds to overtime, and finally, in the third map, we were able to triumph. So, truly a very, very tough and arduous journey that has taken Cal all the way to CVal Grand Finals. And of course, we cannot forget about CSU Long Beach as well. They are also a very formidable team. We have played with them several times before, notably during FragFest all the way last year. But they certainly did not pull their punches either. Any thoughts on those games in particular? Any notable highlights you remember?
Oh gosh, I just remember sitting in the Levy lab watching that UCI game and thinking it was so over. 8th seed against the 1st seed, and really thinking we were going down with the ship there. But seeing that comeback, even if UCI didn't have all of their players there that day, I know that was a huge upset. Safe to say with that we'll have a really great game ahead of us here if that Cal Blue game was as close as you say.
Indeed. And yes, UCI was, even though UCI was not playing at their full strength, it doesn't mean that we weren't exactly handicapping us either. We saw our players absolutely rise to the occasion. I think 2 names in particular come to my mind. That is, of course, everyone's favorite player, Andere here, with his signature go around the back techniques of just lurking and catching people off. And of course, who could forget Tsubasa? I still have that clip of him on Omen popping that brilliant ace on Haven, I believe. Still fresh in my mind, though I believe that was against Cal. Of course, both of these players pulled absolutely no punches during the entire season, but that's not to mention that the rest of the team weren't exactly slacking either. We saw lots of new strategy. Of course, with CVal's rules in effect, Waylay could not be used, but we saw plenty of use with the new agent Tejo, as well as Cardinal adapting to a very interesting strategy, not running any Sentinels whatsoever. It seemed to have become a signature playstyle of them to run a double controller, which is an interesting take to the meta, I believe.
That's right. Certainly all of our players are finding a lot of value here throughout these games. You're right to mention our unique playstyle. We bring 2 controllers instead of a Sentinel. That's usually how the pros run it at the collegiate level. It's not as common, and it really makes us stand out. I think it might be able to give us an edge here today. Once again, you mentioned new strategies. I think what stuck out to me recently is the resurgence of KO. Seeing KO in games. It's been so long since I've seen that, and it's especially meaningful with the release of Tejo. It's just been Tejo Breach. And for teams to pick up KO is such a surprise to me, that we would be finding use of this older initiator that used to dominate, right, with that suppression ability. But bringing it back now is really meaningful.
Yeah, well, KO definitely is by no means a weak agent. During the Chamber metas, he was one of, if not the best counterpicks to Chamber, as he effectively shut down Chamber's entire kit. So it definitely makes sense that when there is a new threat, we send in the robot to go do a bit of cleanup. And of course, as a CS player, everyone, I could certainly attest to the fact that having throwable utility definitely does help, especially in locking down those choke points and making sure we get clean onto site. KO, of course, fantastic and versatile agent, able to lock down the entire team, and of course, during his ultimate, he does get the ability for a second chance, even if it does put him in a bit of a compromising position. Now, we have just received word that USC has picked Icebox for their first map in this best of 5. What do you make of that, Blake?
Icebox, it's been a while since we've seen Icebox. I don't recall if it was just recently put back in the rotation or what have you. I have not seen Icebox in these games so far. I don't know if I've been missing it, but Icebox is a tricky map. I'm an old school player. All I think of is Sage doing the straight line wall in the ramp there, the tube. But
yeah, you certainly are right to say Sage. Like when people say Icebox, I immediately think Viper Sage.
Yeah,
you know, controller Sentinel meta. Just so many tight points that you can lock down with either a poison orb or a Sage slow. Of course, I think these days the meta has shifted around. Icebox was indeed recently added back into the active map pool, but it does seem like not a lot of teams are really eager to embrace it just yet, since, you know, new map coming back in, you know, people aren't exactly familiar. They've been playing the most recent map, but this is a best of 5. There's only 7 maps total. And USC being first seed in the grand final, we do get the option to ban both of our maps. We get the final say in which 5 maps that we are playing. So it is definitely interesting to see USC forego their more comfortable maps and opt to play in this unknown territory. Now, of course, as their manager, I have been seeing their chats and keeping track of their activities. They have mentioned that some of the 2 maps they really don't like seem to be Split and Fracture. So definitely 2 maps that work a lot with the Tejo Breach meta. Perhaps they're just trying to avoid that, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, we are getting word here from production that there are some issues comparing the best of 3 map pick rules with the best of 5 rules, like you mentioned, right? Having only 7 maps total can make it tricky if we're gonna run 5 of those. USC did pick Icebox, and we have word here that USC has actually banned Pearl and Split. Split was one of the ones you mentioned, but I also have seen USC struggling on Fracture quite a bit. If we do go to that map, it's usually Andre working with Phoenix for some reason instead of the Viper wall. We go Phoenix and but we usually get run circles around on that map, and it's quite terrifying.
Well, Phoenix could still do a wall, but not exactly to the full effect of a Viper toxic curtain.
Exactly.
But yeah, Pearl on the other hand, interesting ban. Of course, Pearl was actually the first map I played on when I first started Valorant a little while ago. So it was like the first ranked map I was in. So I have a lot of strong impressions of that one, one very particular Sova lineup in A site. But Pearl is an interesting map, very wide open, very large spaces, good for a lot of info recon, but also has enough tight corners that you could theoretically rat around in some nice and tight areas. Definitely a good map for Andre, who likes that lurkish playstyle, especially near that mid area. You know, definitely good contest area. So it's curious to see that USC has opted to ban away that map. Of course, we don't have footage from Berkeley Cal, as they had previously kind of requested not to stream, except with the exception of the grand finals. So we don't know what their game plan is on Pearl, but it definitely seems that that ban was made in good faith. We are getting word now that we are going to Lotus on on the second round, starting attack as well. Lotus three side map, just like Haven. Very tight, very like claustrophobic, but also USC Cardinal really does like their three side maps. Um, we've seen a lot of previous matches go either to Lotus or Haven in particular. So perhaps it is in their strategy to include a three side map, or maybe even try both.
Well, presumably we have to have some plan for Icebox, right? You said it was recently put back in the map pool. It had some changes to it a while back. That window that's in the tube now, as well as some stuff, some elevation stuff on A site, I think, and like that divot in B, whatever. There is, yeah, we do like our three site maps. We talk about wide open spaces. I do think Honore is going to be trying to take advantage of things. I think specifically on Pearl, like there is that that fountain area with the vent beneath that Honore always likes to take to get right in the enemy back lines. Of course, having that banned away and heading to Lotus instead, I think we look usually really strong on Lotus. Being able to rotate through those doors, being able to bait sound off those doors, I think they're really unique and give a lot of outplay potential that isn't present on the other maps.
That is true. Lotus is absolutely known for those sound cues. You know, the destructible doors, the rotating doors. Definitely a red herring player's absolute dream to play on. We also have word that Ascent will be the third map that we are going to. The classic Ascent hovering above the skies of Venezia. Of course, Ascent is, in my opinion, basically the Dust 2 of Valorant. It is a classic map with featuring a signature, for middle area with two standard sites, strong take options anywhere, anytime. My biggest curiosity will be how Cardinal plays around it. I do believe they were able to nab a win on Ascent last time that they faced off against Cal, though it was in narrow overtime. So it'll be interesting to see what strategies they bring to this time.
Well, remember that one of Ascent's key features has been taken away. There's a metal wall in front of B Garage. That means you can't Odin spam through it anymore.
To my absolute tragedy. That was my favorite strategy.
Sova mains around the world are in tears. I can only assume Endocrisis feels the same. As we do have Odin Ray as well. We are famous for carrying an Odin from time to time. In terms of all these maps, though, I think our defensive coverage does usually come down to playing around that Viper wall, as well as our supporting smokes, right? Usually Subasa on Omen. We do have a full view of the maps ahead of us. Like we said, Icebox with USC starting on attack, Lotus with USC starting on attack, Ascent with USC starting on attack. I hope you see a pattern here. So those are our first three, right? It's a best of three, so hopefully we'll be able to finish it off there. But should we keep going, map 4 will be Haven, USC starting on attack, and lastly, Fracture, that dicey map we spoke of earlier, with USC starting on defense.
So yeah, that is going to be your full lineup of maps for this best of 5 grand finals. Of course, 3 are needed for a win, and so we might be here for a while, depending on how evenly matched they are. And if history would like to at least echo itself, we are definitely going to be here for a while. But yeah, let's talk about those last 2 maps. Of course, Haven being the other 3-site map, signature USC map here. They we all know Odin Ray's favorite spot, or second favorite spot on Haven, of course. But Fracture, that is going to be a big flag here that we got to take notice of. Of course, Fracture, a lot of players very divisive on it. 4 points of attack on 2 sites. Theoretically, the enemy could come from anywhere at any time. It is definitely a scary map to defend, and a potentially very punishing map to attack. But it seems like USC has mentioned that they didn't like that one before. So it will be interesting to see what we've got. But Haven, maybe we can turn around on Haven.
Yeah, Fracture's tricky. It feels simple enough to defend, right? It's like, oh, they can technically only come from two places on every map, but it's having to do the complete 180 to defend those two spots, right? On any other site, both entrances can more or less be in front of you, right? You turn 90 degrees, you can see the other entrance. On Fracture, they're either in front of you or they're behind you, and constantly flicking around. Anyone that's ever played an FPS with a mouse before is like, how do I keep track of all this situation? Haven, historically, supposed to be a strong mat for us. It's been shaky along the way. Here in this tournament, I think it'll be our lucky charm. It'll come back for us. Again, hopefully we can get this done in the first 3, if not the first 4 maps, so that we don't have to go to Fracture. I do think taking to Fracture will be tricky. Those are our maps here. Superb and I, Blink. We're so happy to be here. We'll be coming back at you after the first game. We're going to wish good luck, have fun to all 10 of our players. We're going to throw you over to the casters.
Yep, say hi.
Hi. Yes, I'm so excited. Thank you, Blink and Superb, for that. We are about to start map 1 on Icebox with USC on attack. I'm Ryan. This is our co-caster, Darnell. Darnell.
Hi, I'm Darnell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean, how do you feel? Like, what were you thinking when, with the remarks that Blink and Superb gave us?
I think they are definitely right. They've got a lot of good insight and foresight there. And the map picks and bans are nothing incredibly out of the ordinary. We're seeing a lot of stuff that we prefer to play. And going right into this, we're seeing a lot of agents that tend to be about the same.
Yeah, I do really think that the double smoke technique that USC really does on this map is really strong. I mean, it is relatively a pretty wide map, I want to say. I mean, it is small, figuring that it's only a 2-site map, but having those double controllers, it gives you so much more opportunity to take space. So I am really excited. I mean, I've worked with this team for a few years now. I've seen what they can do, and so I am really excited and very proud to have them play in this championship game.
Yeah, like we said, pretty common picks here from most everybody on the team. It's really common to see that Viper start off. Omen smokes on from USC in addition to that Viper, we're seeing both of those. Gecko is a little bit of an unusual pick. I don't think I've seen that too much on Icebox here, but
I actually disagree with you on that. I think Gecko is a pretty good pick on this map, especially because, like, yes, the map is wide itself, but in terms of, like, the actual sites, they are pretty tight. So, like, for example, like, when Gecko has his ult, you can, and they're trying to play post plant, like, taking so much space with that Gecko Thrasher on A side and B side, you can take up so much. And I think it really works in retake. And I do think that having double smoke and double like info is gonna help their place here. So it looks
definitely.
like USC is going for more of a B hit here with Endo on A. Chamber is tagged a bit. I think they're just going for the plant.
Does look like that. They've already managed to get that plant down, taking down one of Cal defenders here. Sova's left a little bit low on their team. Arctic is definitely very low. They have that Viper wall bubble to give them a little bit, yeah. Pushing yellow, finding some pick. Joshirzal Andre cleaning it up. Tsubasa and leaving. USC with the attackers win. Very good trades there at the end of that round.
Yeah, I mean, they took that so well. They played post plant. They kept their ground. Endo with that kind of lurk towards mid, I think that really worked in advantage to hold that post plant a lot. Yeah, I mean, so pistol rounds are like huge, I think. I mean, as a Valorant player and like someone who has watched this team, winning pistol is so beneficial, and I think that's we're at a good start for USC.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, we see Joe Shizzle tossing out that flash there at the very start of the round. Looks like a small default here while they're holding both of those angles just to make sure that Cal does not encroach on their space. ISO trying to get a little bit of a push up here. Sudge Bubby holding that window there at the top. There, USC is gaining a little bit of distance here, pushing up A, maybe favoring that push a little bit more. I think they're just waiting for Cal to get a little bit greedy here, and boy, are they getting close to this mid angle. No shots have been fired yet, waiting for first contact. USC deploying that smoke there mid-range to maybe cover up some rotates across. Looks like they are going to be committing to B. They're going to find Chamber here shortly. Tsubasa probably making first contact. Chamber jiggling that angle. Chamber pushing away from B site, letting USC almost get more free push-ups, trying to avoid that Aldrone. Joe Shizzle sending wings out with the spike. Oni's going to be able to stop that plant if he peeks it. Takes the plant down. 30 seconds on the clock. They're going to have to pick up spike and potentially wings. Joe Shizzle going for that plant. Trying to dodge the gunfire. Smokes out here in the back to block up Snowman. Finding a pick on Joe Shizzle. Not until he after planted that spike though. Tsubasa trying to give some covering fire here to keep them off that spike from Yellow. We got a bunch up here on Yellow, and we got Endo Crisis on top of Crate here. Taking some shots. Honore finding that on Goat. Dadston trading out on Axio. Leaving both players, 2 players, half health. And
Wow.
that coming in there clutch. Nice headshot from that classic there. The very end of that, giving USC a second round.
Yeah, I mean, that was huge on Andre. That lurk mid at first with that first pick on the Viper, that was huge. And I mean, seriously, these guys play post plant. Like, I've seen how they've kind of grew into the team that they are today. Um, and it's really impressive on how well they're really just controlling the space that they're taking. And yeah, I mean, you kind of get confused at first or kind of like, oh, like what's happening when people make slow plays, but this is honestly what works. You need to throw them off before they get greedy.
Yeah, that Outlaw second roll coming in clutch. Honore getting a little bit aggressive here on that mid hole. He has the smoke to kind of cover that crossover, taking tube early on. Looks like it is going to be a pretty A heavy push as they start to take space A side. Andre still holding that mid angle. Axia with the Outlaw watching just in case anyone gets a little bit greedy. Sudge Bubby is going to probably see Andre before Andre sees him. Andre managed to get that kill on Sudge Bubby, giving him good mid control. KJ is going to be pushing up to take control of Tube here though. With that, they are calling for a rotate cross back over to B. Andre finding an easy pick there. Go, yep. Chamber is still lurking close to it. Looks like they're going to be encroaching on his space here. Had to tell you out. Andre finding a third on Oni. Arctic getting that pick there from the back as Dadston pushes in to stop plant here. He's not going to be able to. Plant is down. USC, the timer starts. Dadston sees Yellow. Waiting here for his team to get a little bit more control from the back, but Axio has that rear play from Snowman with the Outlaw. Nobody's coming to his side though. They are jiggling to see if they get that view on Arctic. KJ is going to come into Axio's frame here. Dadston does get Axio lurking in the back. Dadston gets Joe on top. A triple for Dadston on Endo Crisis. Tsubasa can't compete with the 2v1 there. Arctic. That is the first round for Cal getting the defuse off.
Oh, no, you don't deserve my inventions.
So it does look like, or I mean, it is that Cal gets that bonus round from off of USC, but I mean, figuring that it was a bonus, I mean, USC's eco is still fine. We're on top still. I mean, that wasn't really a big issue there. And Andre, that lurk with the 3 picks, those are huge, regardless of the round won or not. But yeah, this game is exciting. This whole championship series is exciting. Looks like they're heavy aggressive towards mid.
Yeah, very fast push from Andre, throwing that poison orb down already in. Trying to push Kitchen. Dadston just can't take 2v1. Andre getting the judge off on Dadston. Oni trading that out for Tsubasa. Andre Viper Pit down here in Kitchen. Winning the 1v1 there against Endo Crisis. Andre sitting here, ult down Kitchen 2v4. Arctic is looping around here. Snowman. We're just looking for picks. Andre is planting out inside that Viper Pit, top of Kitchen Catwalk. He's going to be able to hold his Viper Pit with that smoke. Oni is below, waiting to see if they peek. Dart down, doesn't reveal anything. Oni is still... Andre is still hiding back there in that smoke. Arctic's trying to try to get some info with that Aldrone. Andre shuts it down before getting pinged. Viper Venom out there on the floor, holding this close angle with that judge. As soon as he hears taps, he's going to be able to swing off that. All three are up there, though. There's one. There's two. Gonna get the third. Nope. Third down, but it's okay because Omen is still here, about to Axio. Getting the third pick. USC round win.
Wow, I'm like, I'm speechless. This is so fun to watch. Gosh, I'm like, Andre, like with the lurks and like with his judge, honestly, like it's impressive. Like he knows when to peek, he knows when to kind of push it off, he knows when to hold off. That round was huge.
That was definitely a big round. Yeah, Andre, nothing can beat that judge inside of that ultimate there.
Yeah, and like figuring that it was a 2v4, that Viper ult is invincible.
Aldrone here, able to grab Oni here, still wins that despite being blinded. Joshi will get in the trade-off though on Chamber, leaving this to be an even match against 4v4. Endocrist is clearing the back of yellow here as Dadston goes for the flank, caught off guard by Andre, waiting for it. Sudge Bubby here is holding that corner there, waiting for that plant off by Gecko. Looks like they're calling for that retreat. Viper may be ahead of that, already heading over to A site. Throwing out the poison orb there, center to give their team some cover. ISO coming up fast in the rear. Andre checking it, but just in time, does not see it. Goat is still coming up fast on that flank. I don't believe USC knows that he is there, and they don't really have any flank control to let them know. By this time, Cal's been able to retake A site. It's 2 on site, 1 on flank, still unknown. Goat's going to be able to peek. Andre getting the kill on Arctic up on Raptors. Goat getting that flank kill on Joe Shizzle. Andre getting such... They know that he's behind. Andre finishing it off. 4K. USC round win.
16-3 for Andre. I am impressed. These are some huge kills that he's getting.
Turret out.
Yeah, right off the rip to have 16-3 line is pretty impressive.
We're going underneath Icebox to get all the ice.
Andre throwing out that orb there in the very center again. Dadston putting that little alarm bot there in mid just to prevent from under the tunnel here. Val looking like they're really trying to heavy on that mid control. Dadston watching twos. We have Axio looking up it though. Jiggling that. Axio backing off. Not going to give Dadston that shot that he was hoping for. Looks like Cal is trying to really claim some space here on A. They're pushing far out. They know that it's probably not going to be an A push considering they don't see anybody. Aldrone going up B, checking for that chamber, but he is not here. It is ISO watching it. We have 3A, ISO holding direct B, and then of course KJ's still in that tube. Axio's getting those smokes out. They're going to start pushing up. Dart's going to show that there's nobody on site. Hopefully they react, start pushing fast. They don't know that that ISO is sitting right there. He's going to be able to stop this plant. He pushes out to the yellow, but doesn't know that Axio's already behind him, gets the kill on him. They have full control, almost full control of B site, just the KJ. KJ is going to put down that ultimate though, pushing them off site, giving them a little bit of time to push up. Gecko's going to make sure they're not trying to defuse. Catching KJ? No, did not catch KJ, but now Berkeley has re-control of the site. KJ is sticking this defuse. I don't think they know it, and they are able to hold off USC just long enough. Oh my goodness, a full wipe there at the end.
That round happened so fast, I don't even know what happened, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest, I was like trying to keep up with everything that was happening. Yeah, I mean, wow. Well, I mean, so for that Gecko Thrash to get out there, I was kind of shocked that it didn't. I thought it hit KJ until
I
it
definitely
didn't,
thought it
so
was
I
going
was
to
a
hit
little.
that KJ, yeah.
Yeah, I was a little like, oh shoot.
Definitely surprised it didn't. That round loss, unfortunately, is going to put USC at a small disadvantage here. They are going to be on a save round. I believe Andre was forcing, though, as they are trying to go for this A push. Again, Cal is staying heavy on the A side. We're seeing a lot of them hold that A position with 3 members and potentially even 1 mid. They currently have 2 mid. Viper holding that angle from almost under tunnel here. ISO heading back towards Snowman here. USC decides that they want to head for B instead, even though they were all lined up A side. A little bit of spam from Sudbubby past that Viper wall just to see if they can tag anyone. Andre taking front here with that Sheriff. Going to be first contact against their ISO here. They're jiggling. They're not sure if anybody's behind yellow. They have not shot out any kind of recon behind that yellow. Smokes are out though. Goat's going to be pinging that he thinks it's going to be a B push here as they start to take site. They have the majority of front site here. They don't know about back. Subasa finds a kill on Sudbubby there with that Vandal there that he had. Goat taking a 1v1 here against Axio. Cleaning up that on Axio. Endocrisis using Hunter's Fury against Arctic. Plant was down. 3v4. Plant down.
You should run.
The majority of the guns on the defender side. Oni finding a kill on Endocrisis. Goat finding the pick on Wanderer. Attacker Killjoy still down. 1v1. Keeping him off-site plenty long enough. He's got the Vandal. He's got some util. Use Headhunter's shots here. It's the operator. He's going to try to use Headhunter. We're going to see if he peeks this. He's going to need to pretty soon. And he finds the kill on Oni there, bringing in another win for USC.
Yeah, I mean, with this map, I think the most important thing is just being able to keep that post plan up. I think USC isn't really having any trouble getting onto a site, but I think the thing that hurts the most or that would hinder the round win is just making sure that their post plant is on fire, you know? And USC has been succeeding for that matter thus far, but it is a tricky map to really hold that post. It looks like ISO is getting close up with the judge, and he is picked off by Josh Shizzle.
Yeah, complete inverse from the last round. It is now Cal on the save and USC on the buy. Andre finding Gadsden there with the Phantom. Arctic got pinged by that Owl drone. Backed up a little bit here, giving USC the opportunity to push up and take some additional sight on A. They currently have that 5-stack. It's a 5v3 against 2 on site. Arctic finding the kill on Endocrisis. Subasa trading out though. Get kill on Arctic. Subasa getting another on Sudbubby before they get him push to site. Oni trying to head to heaven here. Currently a smoke in place. 4v1. He does have his ultimate out. He's going to try to find at least a pick here just to hurt Econ. But USC is taking a very far back approach. They have the utils to support that plant from afar. Potentially a little bit of noise bait here. Finding a kill on Axio, but it is not enough. Andre taking them out. 2-6 USC.
It looks like Cal Blue is going for that timeout right now. I mean, what are your thoughts so far? What do you think could happen? Anything for this game to continue? Like, what are your thoughts? I'm kind of just curious.
Wow, it is definitely moving a lot faster than some of the other games that we've seen here. Already 2-6. Andre is just wiping the floor with them. Still incredibly positive here. I think Cal is just trying to figure out how they can defend this. They have a I would say, a defender-centric team with Viper and KJ and Chamber, but they are just letting USC gain that space, and they can't quite seem to retake it well enough.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I do think that Cal's team comp is very defense heavy. And I mean, we've played Cal before and we've seen how they play. And I am a little shocked at how not very close this game is going so far. But I mean,
Yeah,
anything can happen. We still have another half and some more. And yeah, I mean, I am kind of wondering like what Cal is thinking right now behind these defensive plays that they are trying to make.
yeah. Yeah, it is definitely interesting to see, especially because, as you said, they were very much neck and neck for a lot of these other games here.
Scanning ahead.
Endocrisis getting that dart right off the bat here, but it's probably going to end up being a fake out. Joe Shizzle taking a bit of damage here from that shock dart. They are getting very aggressive on A side here. ISO swinging out, grabbing the kill on Joe Shizzle. Taking additional space, Viper tucking in for a flank kill here, or a little rat kill. Hit by Recon. Double swing, Andre getting the kill on Such Bubby. Arctic trading out Endocrisis and finding another pick on Tsubasa, bringing this into a 4v2. Andre still holding steady there. Arctic is very low health, going to be one shot from any kind of angle. Omen is trying to take a little bit of mid-control Axio here, throwing down that smoke just to leave them wondering if they're crossing back over. Although Chambers sitting pretty on B site by himself knows that they are not pushing to B from mid, or from spawn at least. Arctic trying to find some info here, see if they know where they're at. They know that they're probably going to be sticking A because Chambers still hasn't seen anybody. Andre silently moving over here, sees Arctic there, doesn't manage to land the kill, starts the plant, popping that ult, 2v4 situation. Goat not sure quite what to do, trying to push up, finding the kill on Axio. This is now a 4v2, he's going to be using that ult as his team hunts him down on that ult. If Andre even wins this, it's not going to be looking good for the end there. They're going to be sitting on top of his body. Andre does get the kill and go, but Oni sitting on top of Andre takes Andre out there.
I mean, huge round for ISO there. For the Go, apparently.
The Go, yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like I said, it's really about just how we're taking space, and like I said earlier today, USC is very good at kind of working up a map or working up a site, but I think Cal is kind of catching on that, and that's where that A push up main came from.
Yep. Slightly different comp here going right off the bat. ISO getting a little bit more aggressive, but we're not seeing three men on A. We're seeing Chamber push way far up. Andre getting the kill on Such Bubby early on, which is going to leave them without the majority of their smokes.
Toxin screen down.
Axio about to find a pick off on here on Oni. Finds it. Andre waiting for Dadston. Finds the pick on Dadston there in Kitchen Tube. Leaving a 5v2 right now. Goat going to take his space. Goat finding that headshot on Andre, unfortunately. Plants going out on B side. They are scrambling to get over here. Goat popping that shield. Trying to get some space here on yellow.
Enemy.
Owl drone finding him. Endo Crisis trying to get a little bit more information. Knows that they're probably going to be coming both from Snowman and ISO. Definitely pushing in there. Get on the backside. Clearing out those KJ mollies so that he can try to defuse. Running from that. And it looks like they are just going for a save here. Yeah, they're just going for a save. ISO's going to try to get some picks here as they maybe pull away while they try to push back, but this is looking like another round win here for USC.
Yeah, I mean, their economy was pretty hurt even with last round. I mean, though USC didn't really win the round, they did get a few numbers off of their team. So the save here, I mean, it is really good on their end to kind of just keep their economy even throughout the team, but USC still has that advantage this half.
Yeah, Cal going on another save here. Three of them can buy, but not completely fully. Looks like Such Bubby's only able to get some light shields here. I'm not sure if Goat and Arctic have full util, but looks like it's going to be at least a force, which is odd, forcing on second to last round here. Starting off with this A push. choosing not to get the dart here that's launched above. They know that it's there every time. Endocrisis delaying his dart for this owl drone because they know that they're getting aggressive. And just like 2 rounds before, they are trying to get really aggressive on that taking space. USC adapted though, not pushing up ahead right away. Endocrisis kind of lurking here in heaven. Is he going to see this ISO off here to the right, the goat? He might not. His head is just shy of that. We have the majority of players here sitting on A site. Sofa heading back. Owl drone shot by Goat. They know that he's going to be sitting here in this little corner. He's choosing not to. Okay, he is kind of still holding that lurk. Oni's still holding this main angle. They have A kind of on lock. USC doesn't really want to push into it, but they are silently rotating. Currently a 3v1 B side. There comes the Viper pit, warding off B side. It looks like they are kind of circling it, kind of wolves like circling this Viper pit. Axio finding the kill on Arctic. That Sova didn't have time to get inside that pit. Joe Shizzle seeing if he can bind Viper, knows that they're there in the corner. Sudge Bubby pushed out of that pit. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to re-enter before their pit goes down. 5v4 planted down. ISO taken out by Andre's pit. Little Viper revenge there on the floor. USC is looking pretty here. Axio's running a little bit low on health. They're getting a little aggressive. Dastin finding Andre. Joe Shizzle taking the trade though against Dadston on top of the box. Goat is lurking to the box. Subasa knows it though. And Endocrisis cleaning up there at the very end. 4v0 on the player count. Nice team ace.
Last switch.
Yeah, and then we get to the last round of this half. I mean, I'm kind of curious how USC is going to take the defense side of this map. But I mean, for you, Darnell, like if you were to play any agent, who would you be playing right now?
If I had to play any agent on this roster, it would probably have to be Omen. I think that's my comfort pick here. And it's what a great smoke operator pick, and the fact that they're running them and Viper.
Poison orb emitting.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's? Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I think the double Inishi double controller is definitely really strong at for this team. But at the same time, like, what are your thoughts about having a duelist? USC is kind of going for that no duelist comp here. I mean, do you think that's a good move? I mean, how do you feel about people? There's so many different kind of theories and ideas about certain duelists. Even needing a duelist on the team.
A lot of times without a duelist, and they can do pretty well. And I mean, to be fair, listen, when you have Andre rocking controller going like 20 and 6, who needs a duelist? Because Andre's your duelist as a controller. So.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think that the Gecko here as an Inishi, he kind of acts as a duelist sometimes, like with his flashes, it's so important.
Absolutely. USC managed to get the spike down in this complete mess. Still pretty even up here. Only getting crossing. Such Bubby getting laid down there by Axio. They are tapping that defuse. Don't stick it. And USC bringing us to a 3-9 end of the half.
Yeah, I mean, do you believe in the 3-9 curse?
Do I believe in the 3-9 curse? Well, that depends. If I'm losing, I believe in it, but if I'm winning, I don't want to believe in it.
Personally, I don't believe in it. Yeah, but I mean, this map is so like playing on defense versus playing on attack is so different for this map in particular. I think because it's kind of like wide, but it's so tight at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I do think that USC did rather very well figuring on the attack, figuring they don't have a duelist, and so like really using that space. They're trying to take so much space, and it worked in their benefit. And so I'm like, this is really exciting. I'm happy to watch. And it looks like they are going for a B kind of split here with KJ and Viper in the mid area. Ando is trying to. Yep, he is trying to hold down that site before the push, and it looks like the team USC is rotating a bit.
Yeah, Yeah, that early intel. They have oodles and oodles of smoke. They can't. Goat's been able to push behind yellow though with all that coverage clearing. Andre has a feeling that there might be somebody back there. Kind of toggling his abilities here back and forth. Triple behind that yellow container. Goat is
Over
pointing into that smoke, probably letting him know that there's a good chance that there's
Over
somebody
there.
there. Andre, I don't think he's aware. They're going for the swing. Andre getting the pick. Another pick. Oni cleaning up though, getting that pick off on Andre. Still 2v1 trade, pretty good on that side. As Oni's left on B side with the spike. They
With
are
the
not going to
bomb.
have spike for this
No chance.
this push here. Endo Crisis getting
30
a
seconds
clean
left.
heady on Such Bubby here. Dadston still doesn't really have control of sight. Swung by Axio.
Last player standing.
Swung again. Axio finding the heady on Dadston, leaving Oni alone with the spike. Gecko's still holding down B site, prepping his util here as he's running in. He's going to have to start planting. Doesn't even matter though. Axio finding another on Oni, giving our first round to USC.
Kind of curious what the plan was. I'm gonna be honest. Well, I mean, it does look like that Cal was trying to go for the B push to get the bomb
Yeah.
on B site, but I mean, Ando is just really good at holding that side down. He is more Sentinel and then Controller and Lurker at the same time, and him with those major 2 picks just really left that disadvantage for Cal, as 2 of their players
Yep.
did try to push that A site, but
Sludge Bubby choosing to take a sheriff here. We have 2 outlaws, and Andre is with the judge here. It's going to be an interesting push. Joe Shizzle finding an early pick on Dadston, sitting up there in heaven. Goat sitting in this one-way, inside the one-way. Axio just seconds off the crosshair, finds the pick on Goat. Axio knows that there was one heaven, tries to go for another, getting himself out of that mess there. Very far out of that mess. Joe Shizzle finding Oni again with that. Marshall sitting pretty up there in heaven. Sludge Bubby still not quite on site. They have both here. And they both are at full health. Axio only a quarter health. Getting some shots there in Endo Crisis. Finding the kill on Axio and Joe
Last
Shizzle.
player standing.
Last
Spike
player.
down
Sludge
A.
Bubby here in a 1v3 situation against low health and triple hits. Can he get the kill? In heaven, trying to bait out Tsubasa. Endo Crisis flanking from below.
Last player
Gonna maybe get
standing.
the... Oh! Sludge Bubby finding Endo Crisis. He's gonna have to go for the plant. Andre is lurking up from behind with the judge.
going up.
Not entirely certain what the play here from Sludge Bubby is. Playing Ring Around the Rosie.
30
Who's gonna find the
seconds
kill? And it's Andre finding the kill on Sludge Bubby, giving another round to USC.
man, that was a little scary.
That was definitely a
I mean,
little
we have-
closer than I would have liked it for that bye.
Yeah, I mean, figuring that Cal was on a save round there, it was a little scary, but USC does manage to get that round with 2 rounds until match point for USC. I mean, for so far, I'm excited. I'm feeling good about today. No bias whatsoever. Just kidding. I run these guys.
Going in, going into third round here, USC is on a very, very light bye because they did unfortunately lose a lot of credits from that bonus there. Cal stacking on A site here, but it's okay because USC giving up mid for a triple on A. They're just waiting for that first contact. We're gonna have a Marshall, pretty much just the only real gun on the USC team here. Pretty fast push, blinded double though, sitting there with that gun. Goat finding the kill on Andre. It's gonna give him a little confidence to get a little bit more aggressive. Axio getting Arctic, but Oni getting Axio. Endo Crisis grabbing Sludge Bubby, leaving us in a 3v3. Plant trying to go down as they start to swarm in on A side.
Last
Plant
player
is down.
standing.
1v2. Looking a little bit rough here for Endo Crisis. Dropped from heaven. Oni finding the shot on Endo Crisis there. Cal getting their first round on the attack.
Yeah, I mean, Cal gets that 4th round to make it 11-4, but to really pick up from this kind of big of a gap right here, I mean, it is going to be tough. But, I mean, it is possible, but it is going to be tough for this map, I believe.
It is. It definitely will. And to be fair, it would have been incredibly, not surprising, but a little bit of a far shot if USC did pull that in, considering they were just outgunned. But starting in this round here, we have both on a full buy. Oni, again, they're doing a heavy A push here. Joe Shizzle finding the headshot on Arctic pretty near the start of the round. Andre is very far pushed up B long, watching for that early rotator, potentially trying to get in a flank. They've got the long angles here sitting on A site, waiting just for Cal to push in. Smoke's gonna start hindering them, but again, Goat's gonna sit in that smoke like he did last round. Axio trying to pull out. Andre's still watching that flank. KJ is watching mid. KJ v KJ is going to be mid here in a second. They can see each other. Goat pulling out Axio for that 1v1. They ring around the rosy here. Goat finding the pick off on Axio, getting the shield regenerated there. They're going to start the push here in on A site. It is a heavy 4v2 push. Dadston getting Endo Crisis, leaving them with a little bit more confidence to get that plant down. Sudge Bubby planting. Default position here. Joe Shizzle heading to Heaven, and we have two coming back in from spawn. One mid, two Heaven there. Gonna try to be pushed in using U-Chill here. Joe Shizzle trying to get a little bit of control of sight. Bucky by Andre. Oni getting Tsubasa though. Can't get that kill on the top there. Oni and Sudge Bubby cleaning up that round for Cal.
I'm still really impressed. Like, I'm really even watching Ondo with that Bucky. That's insane. Like that movement, it's like watching Fortnite. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how. I mean, he was pushed up all the way B main with a freaking Bucky.
Yeah.
And then he runs. Like if that was me, if I was playing right now, I was on B with a Bucky and the other team was on A, I would not be getting a kill at all.
No, definitely not. Early Viper Pit from Andre here on A site, knowing the aggression that Cal likes to do. And of course, we saw this coming. Viper Pit was online, and Andre chose the judge. Cal would be pretty daring to push that. Looks like Sudge Bubby's just waiting to see if they can catch anyone trying to get a little greedy on the push out while they try to take B. But they anticipated this. They currently have a 3-stack on B, leaving Andre to just hold A by themselves. They're trying to go for that B, but they just can't quite get the foothold that they need to push in. A bunch of them have their util stack. Joe Shizzle with the flash and Axio with the blind, ready for this rush here in. Trying to see if they can just kind of spam through here. Still smokes are being held off by Axio, so he's going to have both of those smokes ready for this push here. Tsubasa taking out a little bit of util there. Again, nobody trying to flank, but there's an entire team here. Here comes the rush. Axio finding a double on Oni and Goat. Arctic taking Joe Shizzle, Sudge Bubby getting Axio. Tsubasa getting Sudge Bubby and Arctic finding the trade on Tsubasa, leaving us a 2v2 here. Andre still holding A site, leaving a 2v1.
One enemy
Crisis.
remaining.
Arctic finding the headshot on Endo Crisis. It's a 1v2. Here comes Andre from the rear. He's got a judge, so he's going to be out for that long range. Hopefully he's going to be able to see Dadston rocking her in the corners. Just so little health. All it's going to be is one pick right here. One shot. Can he find it? He can. Picks up the Vandal, upgraded. Just needs to figure out where that last person is. He's got time in his hands. Taking the firefight, but Arctic lands the kill on Andre, giving another round to Cal.
It was a nice try.
I thought there was a chance there. He picked up that Vandal. Almost had that
Yeah, I really
headshot
did.
on
I
Arctic.
really did too. I mean, KJ was 5 HP,
Yeah.
making it a 1v1.
That kill happened
I mean,
so fast.
Yeah, I know. It was like a... Like, from the angle I was looking at, I didn't even know he hit him.
Yep.
You want to play? Let's play.
And we got Oni bringing out that ult there. Endo Crisis
down
getting Arctic
A.
Goat trading Endo Crisis and Axio trading out Goat, bringing this to a 3v4 here pretty quickly. Oni still sitting in Raptors. They're not quite sure. Gecko maybe knows, misses that first shot. Your Sizzle. They know that Oni is sitting up there though. Axio rocking half health. A little bit of a waste of that headhunter ammo, just sending that into the smoke there. Oni trying to jiggle.
That was funny.
Oni trying to jiggle.
I was
Seeing if they get any
thinking
info.
the same thing.
Yeah, just threw away 400 credits right there, 500 credits.
I was thinking the same thing, and you just spoke my mind for me right there.
They are still trying to look like they're gonna take this A site. Sudge will be pushing in so cautiously. The second that they round this corner, Joe Shizzle and Axio are going to have a pick on him. Axio getting the head on Sudge Bubby, giving his location up, but getting spiked down in the process. Oni holding that close at angle with that ultimate. Careful. Clearing out that corner there with a little bit of a wingman. Oni peeking, but not zoomed in. Axio finding Oni. Last Andre stealing that from under their hands. A defender round winning.
Really
What an
good
important
hold
one
from
needed.
exactly. Really good hold from Axio and Josh Shizzle there. I mean, those first picks on that made this round so winnable. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, Cal was being a little cautious, but I mean, really good holds from those two to really just secure match point round.
Yeah. And what do you know? King of the timeouts, Cal is calling their second timeout for this match here. Trying to figure out what they can do here in the last moments, potentially. Unless they can turn something around here major.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a big difference from the first time we saw them play Icebox a couple weeks ago. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
What are your thoughts on USC's growth since then? I mean, I'm just very impressed with. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the last time they played this map, it was like double overtime.
Yeah.
And...
I mean, just looking at USC's growth from when it started at the beginning of the season has been ginormous. But even just from 2 weeks ago, I mean, so far this first match is we were watching like neck and neck for the best of 3 last time we played Cal. But this is quite a spread here we have going on.
Yeah, I mean, Andre with almost 30 kills here, and yeah, he's just really been holding the fort down. But at the same time, like all of this info, like all of this info that USC has really been working on just controlling the space in every single angle of this map, making it hard for Cal to just really push a site.
Oh yeah, and especially here right off the bat, it was going to be a heavy A push, but Endo got that early dart on, saw 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean, we do have 3 ults on both teams for this round. I do believe that Cal will be using these ultimates for this round, figuring it is match point. You see that Viper pick going down? The KJ ult goes down.
They are going to be able to get that plant down inside of Sudge Bubby's pit here. Chamber holding on top of that. It's pretty coy. Watching that aerial view just in case they try to do any silly drop-ins. But we have Gecko's ult here, getting body blocked by his team, unfortunately. Cleared out under Cat and that corner of sight there. It's basically when you spam Axio, getting Oni there sitting up on top. He's going to pull his ultimate to grab some intel from backside. Getting Subasa, Sudge Bubby getting Andre, leaving this in a 1v4 attackers. Unfortunately, Cal bringing it back there. Whatever they cooked up the right way. Bringing in another round for them.
Well, it's still match point here with 12-7 USC, but Cal does not have those ultimates anymore, so I'm just kind of curious what they're going to do. It definitely feels like ISO is going to try to grab an orb or a kill for his ult. Maybe to even cut off Andre from sight to get onto B here. That's kind of what I think will happen. I'm not a mind reader or I can't predict the future, but if I know the game well enough, I think that's kind of what they're aiming for, what they might be aiming for here. It does look like Ondo has that read, the same idea as me, and he's playing really far off on Snowman just in case the ISO gets that ult and picks him off. They are playing really slow, I think. Well, Cal is playing really slow, kind of just staying in spawn here on all 3 points of the map. What do you think's gonna happen?
I think they last round was an expensive round for them, using 3 ults to just get that 1 round win. So instead of a right off the bat rush, they were trying to play that default, just waiting for picks. But it looks like they didn't find any that they wanted. At least they're starting to fold in on B here. They are playing this really quiet. Goat not going for that ult orb just because of sound, it looks like. Ondo's sitting very, very far back, like you said here in Snowman, just waiting to see if anyone tries to push off and get a sneaky. Joe Shizzle finding Sudge Bubby there, lurking mid. Nice little pick, putting USC ahead
30
in on
seconds
player
left.
count here. That dart's going to reveal some info there too on B side. They know it's probably going to be a B commit with time left. Here comes the rush. Andre getting Goat. Arctic getting Joe Shizzle. They have a little bit of site control. Andre finding that kill on Arctic from far back. Andre getting a third on Dadston. Last player sitting on Oni. Only a few seconds on the map. Andre getting Oni there at the very end. That's going to bring USC match 1 for a win.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, that was insane. I mean, figuring how what we've seen, like we keep talking about, but that first time that they played Icebox with Cal just 2 weeks ago, this is a very different result. And Ondo really just kind of showed what he is made of for this team. I mean, the team really pulled well through together, but Ondo just really shined, especially today in this game. And I'm really excited to see the other 2 maps that keep, other potentially 2 maps more, or is it 2, 3? I don't know. It's a BO5.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just excited to see what the what next map is gonna bring for USC. I believe it will be. Is it Haven? No, Lotus.
Next map
Lotus.
Lotus, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Lotus is gonna be definitely a different map and a different comp. I do think that they are going to aim for the double initiator. USC, I mean, for the double initiator kind of tech there, whether that's like a Breach and Tejo. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this Icebox game? How do you feel? I'm really curious to see what the guys are saying, what their comms are right now. I bet they're going crazy.
I bet they're going crazy. I'm just glad that it was around early in here on Icebox. Again, that first match in as a win always feels good, gives you hope going forward.
Yeah, and it looks like we're gonna just jump straight into game 2 here. I believe because of time, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with this next map. It looks like yeah, so they do have, USC does have that double initi, but it looks like they're going for a Fade and a Breach. I am a little bit surprised because last time they did play Tejo against Cal. Yeah. But yeah, and it looks like Cal has a similar comp, but instead of that Viper, they do have a Vise. What are your thoughts on Vise? I have mixed feelings from her personally. Like, as a player, when I watch someone play Vise, they're either really good or they're just not really good.
Yeah, it is.
My thoughts.
It's a very hit and miss situation. I think the util can be very powerful if used correctly, but I mean, there's certain agents that they can play against, like Yoru, that can just send his clone out and make the majority of the kit kind of useless.
And I do think it is interesting. Vise, she is relatively new. I mean, not very new. It's been a while now, but there's not a lot of people that really play her. But seeing her util, it is really strong, I would say. It just kind of depends on how to use it. Her flash is really effective, and I think that her wall, her wall is like hit or miss for me, to be honest. But I hate her thorns, her little like thorn molly thing, like that is so annoying. But as we get into this game, it does look like Tsubasa and Axio kind of trade a little bit. We're gonna see Tsubasa in controller with Axio on Duelist, and I'm a little excited to see this raise here from both teams.
Oh yeah.
Obviously more for USC, just because of my bias, but yeah, it does look like they are going for a really slow first round with pistols here, and
they really took that play up there and C, especially because that one way. And Sudge Bubby's holding side alone, so if they decide to push in here through that smoke, it's going to be a rough day for them. Cal is stacking up here, B site, waiting for that door to open. They know that Oni is now here and not on site, so if they are going to rush C site, now is the time to do it. Smokes are down, Sudge Bubby's sitting here on stairs. Nade pushing him a little bit far out. Axio going to be getting first contact. Headshot by the right click. Sudge Bubby throwing another smoke down here. Tsubasa sitting in the corner just waiting, pushing him with the rest of his team. Some of their teammates sitting on half health. 5v4 right here though. Endocrisis getting the headshot on Oni. Spamming into that smoke. Tsubasa finding Sudge Bubby there, waiting. Goat kind of forced back here into Waterfall. Headshot through the barrier wall there. Another through the wall. Two penetration headshots right there, giving Cal the numbers advantage. Archer trying to find anything out with that haunt as they push in from Waterfall, clearing the corner here. Goat going to be using a little bit of that util, grabbing Tsubasa, leaving him in a vulnerable state. Found out by that haunt. Goat grabbing Endocrisis, leaving us in 1v2. Last remaining, Tsubasa finding the kill on Arctic.
Go crazy,
Wow.
Tsubasa. Go crazy. Yeah, I mean, Tsubasa just really four kills on that pistol round for Tsubasa. I mean, that was huge on his end too.
That was.
It was a tricky round, but yeah, I mean, that was crazy. Good job.
One thing you see a lot here on Lotus, like you were mentioning, is USC especially likes pairing that breach with that Tejo, and those Tejo rockets can open up those breakables. I mean, do you think that it was a good idea to kind of swap those agents out from Tejo, or do you think we're going to be hurting for it?
I think Teo's util is really effective with the breach combined. But I do also think Fade is so strong in her util as well. Like with her ultimate, I mean, it is so hard to figure out like where everybody is, like especially like the sound cues that are completely eliminated with Fade's ult here. USC is able to get onto the C site with all that util really. I mean, Fade's eye is really good. We have the breach for flashes and just kind of taking up so much space with his stun here. And you can see by this round how much that util just really worked in their favor.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, Teo, I don't hate him. I don't think he's like the GOAT. You know what I mean? But like, I think he is really good when you use his util correctly. But at the same time, I don't think it's necessary. I think any double initiator comp is going to be effective. So, I mean, not having a Teo isn't going to hurt them, but it's not really going to make a difference, I don't think.
Dadston going for that min-max there at the very end, holding off to make sure that nobody can grab his kill, or rather his death, I should say, until he can die to that spike explosion.
I mean, yeah, like, what are your opinions for Teo?
I think he is very powerful for those breakables, and I think he's great for post-plant, you know, keep people off the spike, or keep people off-site when planting, and then of course, paired with someone like Breach with those stuns, I mean, the kills just roll in. Which is why I'm a bit surprised not to see him on the site, but I think the Fade pick was strong. Sudge Bubby grabbing Axia, they're trying to push out, but Josh's trade out for Sudge Bubby. Breach util is great. Andre with the Outlaw still. Oni getting a double on Endocrisis and Andre. Joe Sigil trading out though for Oni, and Tsubasa finding a kill there. Getting, that could have a 2v1 here on A site. Dad's
Spike planted.
Creeping up through stairs here. They've got a nice cross while they check Kevin. Tsubasa
Last player standing.
not able to get the kill on Dadston, but Joe Shizzle in for the trade on Dadston, giving attackers a third round in a row.
This isn't a fight, it's stealing lunch money.
How do you think we're looking for this match so far? I know it's 3 rounds in, but it's looking pretty promising. Tsubasa taking Andre's role from the last game, 7-1 right now. Wow. Looks like they're trying to go for an early aggression here. Taking an early pick, leaving Cal a man down, giving him the numbers advantage. Starting to go a little bit heavy, blinds out Smokes out, both smokes out. Tsubasa not sure if they want to push in. Smokes going down. Dodging a bit of that fade util, which is going to look good intel-wise. Cal thinks they're just moving completely over to another site. They just abandoned C. Despite the majority of the players still just waiting for C. Lurking here on B site just to see if they push in, but USC is going to have a free site here. If they choose to push in. Goat's getting a little bit of a space here just to see what's going on. Axio doesn't quite want to move into that smoke yet, as we see Cal's Omen move back over to C site. Here's C, free for USC.
30 seconds left.
Sudgebubby putting those smokes back down to just try to keep USC off from pushing off if they were. Doesn't want to take this fight alone. Currently a 5v1 on C side if Sudgebubby pushed in, as we have two coming in from Waterfall here. There comes the ultimate. They're going to get a little bit more aggressive on site, pushing here into the smoke. Two sitting in this smoke, Joshizzle and Andre finding the kill on Sudgebubby, just waiting for Goat to push out of that smoke. They've got nothing but crosses on site, and they have complete site control. Goat finding the pick on Endocrisis, getting a little bit pushed up there with that stake here. Stunned here, but he's going to stun back. Tsubasa grabbing Oni from backside, pushing a little bit away from site. Joshizzle finding that Goat kill on Goat. Keeping Arctic off the site here. They don't know if he's here, but they have the Viper Pit blocking. Seeing if we can find any picks there before he dies to the spike. Wow, another amazing round from USC here, and they did not want to give Goat that kill. Goat is just sitting there in Waterfall trying to get those penetration kills through that that wall. Cal taking a timeout. This is going to be their first timeout of this match, third timeout overall. 0-4 in. They are having a chance to talk with their coach here, 60 seconds to chat with their coach, the other players in a bit of a quiet, try to figure out what they need to change up.
Yeah, I mean, like Icebox in this map too, where we're just seeing USC just take up so much space and just really have so much control of the map and the site that they're hitting. I mean, it's impressive, and I'm very curious to see what Cal might be thinking right now, what their coach might be talking to them about right now, what they're really discussing throughout this timeout. But so far, USC has really shown how much control that they have with these games.
Yeah, knowing from history past here, Cal after this timeouts, whatever they cook up, more often than not, it gives them a round or two. And then USC's been pretty quick to adapt, not letting that get out of hand. We'll see if this follows history or if we're going to have a new outcome here. Again, USC going for that heavy C push, but Cal is actually going to be pushing out pretty far here. Not sure if Oni knows that Tsubasa is lurking in that corner. We have the double smokes, but the one-way missed. So they're not going to have that one-way smoke up like they wanted. Tsubasa decided to use both of those tellies to get back out of that corner. Oni taking a very aggressive stance. Still thinks Tsubasa might be in that corner. Goes fades close right, gets blinded. Sitting behind Mound here. Endocrisis getting some util off here, holding out of the way. Most players remain undamaged despite that raise grenade coming in. Sudgebubby's still holding his Mound here as they start to go rush towards A site. Just by sitting on site, Dadston holding this by himself while his team rotates. Knows that they're inside tree there from that wall threat. Getting overrun by some util here. Oni with the rocket. Gonna probably just send it into a corner here. He's got to choose fast though. Doesn't quite hit Axio, but brings him down to almost nothing health. He's gonna have to shoot this Boombot there. Andre finding Arctic and Axio, getting Dadston. Axio also getting Ani. Goat finally trading out Oxio. Another ult coming here. Andre finding Goat. Currently a 3v1 against Sudgebubby. Sitting here in heaven. Andre's really low right now. Tries to get a kill, but Tsubasa taking out Sudgebubby, giving it a 5th round in a row for USC.
Yeah, I mean, this breach and this fade util, like, it's it's so strong. Like they have so much information. They have so much to kind of stop their mobility. I mean, and it's really working, and I can see how much this USC Cardinal team has improved since the last time that they played this map. And we love the squishy bears and the elephant pirate over here, or whatever that is. I don't know. Do you play Val a lot?
I do, unfortunately.
I've been wanting to play more. Again, I took a break for a while, but I saw that squishy bear. Oh wow.
Arctic finding a 3K with some smoke spam here.
Bring them down.
Yeah, but
We'll catch them. One enemy remaining. 4 down.
Arctic 4K through the smoke spam. They're gonna try to let Arctic get the ace. Window Crisis getting a cheeky kill on Oni through that one way there. Bolting out. Gonna run into Dadston here. Just a second. Hopefully here's that orb. He doesn't. Crisis finding that that kill on Dadston as they're running away. Wasn't expecting that from the back. They're going for an unusual plant spot here in the back, but he's rushed for time as they really just roll in on him. They don't play this smart. Endo has a really good shot. Arctic getting his ace there on Endo from spawn, unfortunately.
yeah, I mean the spam kills were
The Phantom
insanely
spam.
lucky. That was crazy, but what was I saying earlier? Oh yeah, like I've been trying to play Val again just to get the squishy bear on the battle pass.
Oh, uh-huh. Hey, it's worth it. I
those are
unlocked it a
fun.
couple of days ago. It's a great stress reliever.
Really? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
Valorant
can-
does get really stressful when you play mid-game, so I imagine it working. I always whip out the phone.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like, just
flick back
spam
and
clicking the
forth,
phone.
yeah, that little
I
the little
mean-
stress bear.
Yeah, I think it's cool that that Riot added those little like
Where are
gibbets. Fun.
100%.
But, I mean-
Yeah.
Mark 2.
Yeah, as we get into round 7 of this game, I mean USC is still up 4, but Cal was able to get their first round last round. They are kind of going a little slower here. They do know that there was a safe push from Cal.
Good hit.
Ando is still kind of holding that.
My blind is dead.
That's been trying to get a little bit of a
Mark
pick
3.
here. Steel Garden. Looks like he's about to release Steel Garden out of a tree there. Holding off on it because it looks like USC is deciding that they're going to push back. I mean, 4 of them getting hit by that Fade ult was probably not so great. Such Bubby re-smoking B just in case that's what they're trying to push. But right there, they figured out he's there. Teleporting out. Still gets bit by that Prowler. Gets him smoking here on C, calling for his team to get over there. 3 of them in Waterfall, 1 already in, Axio already in Staircase. Not sure if Such Bubby knows yet. About to find out as they get this cross. Axio finds Go.
One enemy
Axio whipping
remaining.
out, getting
30
a
seconds
double.
left.
Arctic and Such Bubby, Andre finding Oni, leaving this in a 5v1 just against Dadston. Approaching with Waterfall.
My God. Everything
Kind
happened
of a
so
good stuff.
fast.
Favorite spot here. They're all watching it. Axio seeing, getting a 4K off on Dadston there on just the right moment. Wow.
Everything happened so fast. Everything is happening really fast these rounds. I'm really surprised. Yeah, I mean, it's just insane to me. Like, they start off slow, and once they know where to go, it's just they explode and they take it. And that's what's really working for USC right now, is when they have a site, once they kind of work up the map, see where, kind of figure out where these players are from Cal, they determine, here, I'm gonna hit this site, and they just explode onto it, and then there's no going back from there, you know?
Yep. Yeah, we hear another strong C hit. Not just Such Bubby alone by themselves. They also have Arctic sitting there to help with a little bit of additional util. Boombot's gonna try to clear some of those corners. Nobody shot it, so they're gonna have a little false sense of security, especially nearby. Now they have 3 Dadston, Arctic, and Such Bubby sitting up here on C site. 4 now, with just 1 holding B. Just waiting, trying to get a little smoke spam here. Stuns out. Coming in with that Bucky, Dadson grabbing Endocrisis, Subasa trading out.
That's bear's over.
Arctic grabbing Andre Joshizzle, and finally Axio grabbing Sudge Bubby there, leaving a 3v2 right now. Oni is a little bit
Goat on the
hurt.
flank.
Sneaky, yep, here's Goat on the flank. Sneaky pick off on
Last
Subasa with
player
the stinger.
standing.
Joe Shizzle does get the trade on Goat again. 2v1 right here. Oni is really hurting, 30 health. But
He might
so
beat
is
them on
Joe
the A
Shizzle.
site.
30
though.
seconds left.
It looks like he is going to get there just slightly before. Axio choosing to open up tree here, already on site. But just a classic. Is he going to try to stop plant
One
here?
enemy remaining.
He is. But Axio has
Axio
Joe
finishes
Shizzle's
it
back.
off. I mean, really impressive rounds from USC. I mean, you can see how much control they really have. It's insane. Like, I keep saying this is like over and over again, but it's true. I mean, USC
is
has
true.
so
It
much
is.
control, and once they have all this control, there's no one stopping them. And I think that's really apparent from these rounds that we're winning. I mean, Ondo with the lurks and him kind of getting the right timing. Tsubasa with that smoke and flash.
Yeah.
They're really just getting to it.
Wow, Axio getting that trade picked right off the bat. Arctic spraying to get Axio. Whole team is there, pushing in fast. Tsubasa grabbing Goat. Sudge Bubby trading out to Endocrisis. Tsubasa grabbing Arctic, and Sudge Bubby again
B.
trading out to Shizzle. Trades left and right, 2v2
Last
here.
player standing.
Andre using Viper's Pit, stealing away that gun, just sitting at 4 health.
One enemy remaining.
Found the kill with the shorty there. Immediately pushing out of B site to C site. Omen's about to know that Andre did that because that smoke is going to go down. Really only means one thing. The way he pushed in, he knows that that it's going to have to be a C site hit, but I guess maybe he doesn't know that. Andre is
Yeah, it
sitting
looks
pretty
like-
here on C site by himself.
Oh,
Here he goes, checking for intel.
Spike planted.
He found what he needed. Andre sitting without any util left and only 4 health. He's got Orb on Spike for that post plant. Looks like he's going to try to go for a spray from Waterfall here. Sudge Bubby's going to have to be really methodical as he pushes in to site. He has no idea where Andre might be lurking. Blinding off Spike here.
Cover going out.
Throwing another blind onto the entrance of the top. Sitting there. with
Poison's
Bucky.
off.
He's gonna try to go for a jump shot and a Bucky kill.
and a shorty
Oh, and
kill.
he gets the shorty kill, despite having that Phantom in his back pocket. The disrespect coming from Andre is unreal.
I mean, yeah, they both Andre and Sudge Bubby had to really kind of gamble there from that B site on C or A. Once Sudge Bubby knew that Ondo was on C, that was kind of another gamble to figure out where they are. They could be anywhere, and I think that Omen util going out, the flash and the smoke kind of really gave up his position there to help Andre secure the round.
100%.
Shadows traveling.
Tsubasa taking this teleport across per kind of usual movement here. Oni is still waiting for this. Gonna get cleared out by that Moombot. Again, they know that the left is clear, but the right might not be. Fade, Prowler getting shot by Oni. Sudge Bubby waiting with that blind. Just waiting here for that big push through main. USC is stacked up against C. Here comes an ult. Here's the explosion, clearing out stairs. Actually, already pushed into site. Fade ult. Sudge Bubby sitting there almost no health. Tsubasa grabbing Sudge Bubby. No health. Pushed him off site successfully into spawn and waterfall here. Nice util from
Spike
Endocrisis
planted.
trying to get some aerial view. Spike is down. Planted on stairs, which means they're going to have to kind of hold some site control here. Make sure that they don't let any sneaky defuses come in. Clearing out a little bit of that space there. Tsubasa sitting on top of the box, grabbing Goat. Joe Shizzle getting the greedy on stairs. Axio grabbing Dadston, and Joe Shizzle just cleaning up on Arctic there. Didn't expect him to get so aggressive there, but got him the round win. going into the 11th round here. Just 2 more and a half.
I can tell you had to do the math real quick.
I really did. I did. I'm always afraid because I mess it up more often than not. This
Was
one
the
way is not.
hesitation after the?
Yeah, one way not scaring Axia, just taking a little bit of blind fire through it here. Waiting for that wiper wall to go down before Cal actually getting aggressive on the push out here. Andre is gonna see him, gets double peeked. Arctic grabbing Andre. This is gonna leave Cal with the numbers advantage. Again, that boombot out to clear that corner.
Bring them down.
Ice is sitting pretty. They're gonna probably try to time this, jump over the wall. The explosion comes in.
Down.
Vines on the floor, gonna hurt them up a little bit. Dadston grabs Joe Shizzle while he wasn't looking, and Axio. Dadston with 2 picks under his belt here, keeping that seaside control. Now Cal's moved into sight again, grabbing Tsubasa with the spike there on stairs. Spike's gonna be down, leaving Meadow Crisis at 1-5. Out of ammo, Arctic catching him off guard.
Find you.
Giving Cal another round.
Round in the half.
What are your thoughts on this so far, Anne?
Well, I definitely think that USC is really showing how much that they've improved throughout this semester or throughout the season, and honestly, I am not worried at all. I mean, Lotus is a very attack-sided map, and figuring that they have so many rounds won on this side, it's gonna help them a lot. I mean, it does help them a lot, especially on the defense side. The side is any map really with with 3 sites is a very attack-heavy map. So for them to kind of have this much of a lead, it's really strong and really beneficial for a potential win here. And it looks like they are heading towards an A site here, but it is gonna be like a 5-on-4 on A, as most of Cal already kind of is in A position. They are
I'm not sure if
slowly
it's...
kind of, yeah.
Axia whipping out Rocket, and also Air Ray's whipping it out. Josh getting an early pick on Oni, and Sudgebubby grabbing the trade off on Axia, 4-4. 3 sitting inside tree here, looking to leave because they were found out by that Raze ult. Cal is entirely on A site. They are going for that rotate. They have time if they run to get to C, but that is exactly what they're choosing to do. Joe Shizzle's throwing that spike over to Tsubasa. Tsubasa's probably going to telly on top of default corner here. Get that plant off, plan it for Mounds. They unfortunately didn't time that wall right. They're going to leave Tsubasa to plant by himself. It's a good thing they gave it to him. That spike got locked out. It would have been over for them. Still, Cal just getting up to the site now. 2 in spawn and 2 heading waterfall. Tsubasa's holding that close angle here on waterfall to try to catch somebody off guard. They are doing a little bit of jiggling peek here. Back here in spawn. Go grabbing Tsubasa, waiting for that lurk. Going to start to take the push up. Andre sitting there with the op down. Sudgebubby. Another 2 on Endocrisis and Andre. Joe Shizzle. Dadston. It's a 2v1. Go. Nabs the headshot on Joe Shizzle. I think it's the staff. 3-9 curse.
Another 3-9 here for USC. I mean, it's so scary. Like 3-9, like with that stereotype, like having it 2 games in a row. I'm kind of curious how this 3-9 is gonna play out. But I mean, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. This is my team. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I have been the president for USC Valorant for a few years now, and this is also my last year. So kind of just seeing our Cardinal team make it to the championships it's just beyond me. Like I'm very proud to have been a part of this org, and um like win or lose, obviously I'd want them to win, but like win or lose, like even making it this far for the first time in USC Valorant history it's incredibly prideful and exciting. And yeah, it's like seeing these games right now, just being here kind of casting and just like watching this all live, it's so exciting.
Yeah. Truly a culminating experience.
Yeah, and I've
Cal,
seen these guys. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's just go ahead.
No, I mean just like seeing these guys, like how far they've kind of grown as a team, it's so impressive. And these matches, these rounds, it's really showing how much this team has really kind of truly grown into being a team, you know?
Yeah. I 100% agree.
Cal is going for a slow C push here. Andre and Endo are kind of holding that site. Underwear is getting picked off. Endo is water. But it looks like Cal is going to be able to get that plant down. This go round.
Yeah, finally. Only
Spike
25
planted.
seconds of the clock. USC did such a great job about holding them off for so long. Dad's grabbing Joe Shiz a little bit unaware. Also, Axio didn't expect him to be
Last player standing.
Go Subasa and Heaven leaving this in a 1v5. And Yo is probably going to not try to hold off. Grabbing Oni, which means gun upgrade for him. Doesn't land the headshot on Dadston, though, who has the Sheriff.
I'm getting scared. Definitely a different start of an outcome from that 9-3
Absolutely.
compared to last game. But yeah, I mean, I am really curious to see how USC is going to be using their defense skills this half. Like I mentioned earlier, Lotus is definitely a T-sided and attack-heavy map. I mean, having 9 rounds from their attack is going to be very beneficial, but again, defense on this map is incredibly hard, and I'm very curious to see how USC can shine out here.
Arctic with that early Prowler. Trying to give a little bit of space here. One thing that USC did a great job was holding them off so long from picking a site. They were kind of jiggling back and forth to which site they ended up wanting to push. Finally deciding C and then exploding onto it. Andre is going to be lurking in that smoke. It is some true Andre behavior to do that, sitting in there with a classic, waiting for some unsuspecting folk to walk in there. But nobody is taking the bait. They are pushing away from C, back to looks like a primary B hold, but they definitely are watching C and A for those push-outs, just to make sure nobody's getting too greedy. Vise has her wall set up on the entrance to A main to make sure nobody flanks them from that site. Looks like they're going to try to commit to B here. It's a free site at the moment. Are they going to be able to hold it if they get plant down? Because USC is sitting with a 4-stack on A. They can rush in, looping through connector here to go to C. They're just both getting intel of where these players are and getting the opportunity to kind of just trip up USC. Goat getting Andre only holding C side alone. The comms coming out as USC storms to get C side planting with just such a small amount of time left. Getting a plant off with only 3 or 4 seconds to spare there. Plant is down on C. USC still's got to get back to it. They choose not to take Waterfall at all, just going for a 3-stack rush through spawn. Watching flank there, but nobody's going to be coming from flank. They are only going to be coming from C main. It probably makes a little bit more sense for USC to just wait to see if they can get some greedy picks. They don't want to afford Cal any ultimate points in their arsenal, or that 200 credit you get from getting those kills. Axio is going to find Cal Goat there off the guard there with the classic gun upgrade for Axio. Just waiting to see if they can catch any more off guard, and we'll see if they decide to. Yep, they are deciding to, despite getting that little gun upgrade there, they're going to lend themselves to the spike for that additional credit.
I mean, interesting rounds so far in this second half. I mean, having that whole B side open and Cal just kind of lurking through it to get onto C with such little time left, as you mentioned. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is definitely a different turnaround, but at the same time, we are seeing numbers here that aren't really, I'm not really surprised.
Yeah,
Be
nothing
honest.
too crazy. Going into 5-9 again. We're gonna see how this starts to unfold. Full rifles online for everybody. Svasa finding that early pick on Oni, which is gonna help give them the numbers advantage for this upcoming push here. Retreating back, get to B. Connector holding two of them. Cal's sitting pretty mostly on A, but Fade is still watching that B lurk. Wanting to make sure nobody comes out here on C side. As
That dog was
Andre
unable to
pushes up.
get Andre.
Yep.
Dog didn't hit him.
Andre finding the
able to
pick on
defend
Arctic.
A.
And Spike is down in an unfortunate position. Is Dadson able to get the trade up? Nope, Andre gets another one. Still Spike down. We have Omen coming up to back Andre. Rasa and Andre are now holding Spike from that attacker entrance to A. Actually just trying to hold off some attack here on B. Axio and Goat going at it. Axio wins the gun round and Endo Crisis cleans it up. Such Bubby, they lost the Spike in a bad spot and couldn't get it back.
Whatever
Yeah,
happens.
what round? I mean,
Don't panic.
first the dog that didn't hit him for some reason. and then Cal up A, halfway up A with bomb still kind of stuck in spawn. I mean,
And it's gonna be a good time for USC because they're gonna have that bit of a cash advantage. Cal chose not to do a at least a buy on round 2 for the bonus on round 3, so they are gonna be able to full buy again here. As that Prowler tries to clear those corners again, it looks like it's gonna be a B hit here heavy. They left Spike down in spawn so that hopefully they don't give away to USC that
Here.
that they are going to lose it again. Andre's
Toxin
got a
screen down.
nasty little lurk here on Omen, and finds the pick on Such Bobby. They're unexpecting that Andre is going to be lurking in that corner, giving them the numbers advantage early off. Endo Crisis grabbing Oni, even though they were double swinging that. Goat and Arctic. Another Prowler out. Tsubasa with the blind though. Goat grabs Endo Crisis, but Joe Shizzle grabs Goat while he is potentially blinded there. That Viper while he's coming up, walking off. Andre again with another lurk. Not able to get Dadston, getting headshot instead, but bringing Dadston down to 25 HP, which is going to make any kind of push hard on any site one shot for them. Arctic just sitting in the smoke waiting for a push. His team is now with him. It looks like they're about ready to explode on site. Plant's going to fake while they try to do a little bit of site clear. Planting again in kind of an odd angle. Dadston about to get headed by two people coming in, like throwing out those spikes. Axio grabbing Arctic and disrespectful, but Dadston gets Axio even in his ult. 25 health as Tsubasa pushes out, clearing those corners. Not sure that they went down into stairs, pit reservoir there. Taking the heaven shot, but Joe Shizzle grabs Dadston anyway. Only 25 health. Penetration bullet shot to the body is going to kill him. And USC gets around here.
USC is really just winning their gunfights here, and I think that's really what's bringing these rounds. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we don't have to see a map 5.
Yeah, at this rate, it is definitely looking a little bit comfortable for USC, which, like you said, again, just from 2 weeks ago, is quite the improvement from the first time that they faced Cal.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I'm just in shock. Like they've improved so much since in the last 2 weeks, and even in the midst of like crazy school schedules and all of midterms, finals, whatever, USD is still, like they really have shown how much work that they're putting in for this win.
Oh, absolutely. What Cal's chosen to do here, it
Spike
seems
planted.
that paid off. They really went for that fast push kind of through, ignoring a lot of the util, taking it some of the brunt of it, but instead going for trades. Raze was able to grab Andre right off the bat because they just completely ignored that fade haunt. Endochrist is trying to see if there's any of that Vise util on the ground they can clear out as the team reaches the site. Here comes the all Axio getting the quick headshot on Arctic. Dadston grabbing Tsubasa again from that main area, also getting a penetration kill on Axio. Endo not able to find the kill on Dadston, and Josh Shizzle finding the trade, but still Goat had again the stinger, grabbing Josh Shizzle at the end there for a Cal win. Man, Goat is taking that stinger pretty often here.
Yeah. I don't understand how like stingers every time I play against a stinger I die. But then when I use it, it's just it doesn't work.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Goat stinger works a lot different than mine, so I don't know what it is.
It really does. Yeah, I mean, but that round itself, it was just the util that was going out. All of this util from both teams, the breaches, the fades, the raises. I mean, Axio was in a good position, but ultimately he was kind of stuck there with the fade util, and then does look like both teams get an early pick here of this round, making it a 4v4. USC is kind of reading that Cal is heavy on the C side here. Endo is still kind of anchoring that A side with Endo kind of in between B and C.
Shadows traveling.
And Tsubasa re-smoking that C main there is going to make Cal a little hesitant to push in, which is a little bit odd. They knew that they exploded last time and it worked out, so maybe they're going to explode again here. Yep, Oni shooting in, Tsubasa grabbing Goat, Oni grabbing their Shizzle off the bat, but Endo taking the trade on Oni and Tsubasa grabbing Arctic. Sudgebubby trading off Tsubasa, leaving this open only 2. Sudgebubby here with Spike, without Spike, trying to get the plant off. Spike again in a bad spot here.
30 seconds left.
He was able to grab it and tally out. Doesn't quite have time to get to C. Doesn't matter. Andre getting the body on Sudgebubby. Taking that round, bringing us to match point.
Match point.
Match point.
And I would be really surprised if we did not get a timeout call from Cal here in the next 10 seconds.
I was gonna say the same thing. I was like, where's timeout number 4? I mean,
but it looks like
looks like there is no timeout, but I do think that compared to the last time that USC played Cal, I think this time they had the advantage of really getting into their breathing. Apparently, I was hopping in their VC earlier, and they told me to stop talking because they were doing breathing exercises for 3 minutes to kind of to soothe their nerves. So I think that's really exciting to see. I think those nerves were definitely soothed out for this championship series.
They are zen here, it seems. Oni finding Axio with that ultimate showstopper. Again, a lot of ults on the board. Tsubasa getting Sudgebubby. Dadston grabbing Tsubasa and Shizzle grabbing Dadston. The trades here. Endo Crisis trying to right click, but not against the Phantom. Arctic getting that kill. Andre swinging Arctic, but again, Arctic getting another kill with that Phantom straight to his head. Shizzle blinded. Trying to see if he can retake this site in this 1v3 situation. It's not looking great for him as they're holding a big cross, ready to triple swing him. Second down. Finds Arctic, but Goat is ready with that swing from B connector there, getting the kill on Shizzle.
You're not being shot at, dude.
I find it really interesting how util heavy both teams have really been. I mean, we saw the util on Icebox, and we're seeing it again in different forms on Haven. And I mean, it's crazy. Like, as someone who only really plays ranked, like who has like nobody using their util in a comp ranked game, it's so impressive to see how well this util is really just being used.
Absolutely. Straight spray right out of the gate here. Goat finding a triple off the bat, leaving us immediately in a 5v2 situation. They, Joe Shizzle and trying to regain a little bit of side control with Andre here. But blinded, Joe Shizzle retreating, again hit with that breach util. here in the
Last
corner.
player standing.
Doesn't matter, they are
Hey.
blinded. Goat getting his second ace of today, I believe, right?
I think it's his first. I think the first ace was by Arctic.
Yes, you are right about that, yeah. So Goat's first ace, second ace we've seen today, though. No aces yet for USC.
But we have seen a lot of 4Ks.
We have a lot of 4Ks. And apparently no timeout needed either. Cal cooked up something on the fly, and it seems to be working here.
They're still at match point, but figuring these last few rounds, Cal is kind of just working their way up to maybe get this game in an overtime match. I don't want to jinx it, but it's very possible.
It is very possible. They only need that one last round here. Getting really aggressive. Subasa does just best Oni on that shot there. Sudgebubby trying to clean up for Oni, but Axio finding a double, even though Sudgebubby was able to grab Subasa, giving USC the numbers advantage. Go finding Joe Shizzle, bringing this closer to an even match. Endo shooting out a Prowler. Andre getting Cal Goat with that famous judge, leaving us in a huge number advantage. Dadston is marked. They know where he is. They have a triple cross. Andre just using Viper's Pit for the funsies. Axio getting a triple against Dadston, giving USC match number 2 win out of today's
The
best of 5.
13-A win.
Wow. What did you think about that?
It was a little scary at first. Well, I mean, towards that second half of the game, but yeah, I'm just more impressed again. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm not really like someone who knows the analytics and stuff of the game. I just kind of run the team.
Yeah.
But I mean, I play myself. But yeah, really just watching how much that they've kind of really honed into their individual skills as a team together also, and kind of really using the util in the way they want it. I know these guys were working their butts off, trying to figure out where to throw these mollies and kind of practicing lineups and like end customs and stuff, and really just working on scrims for a while. But yeah, I really wanted to hear from the analyst desk back at Firehouse at USC campus.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I want to hear what they have to say about what they think of these last 2 matches so far. As we get to the third map, yeah, let's just take it over there.
Send it over to them.
They let us out. Oh my gosh.
We're out of the dungeons, but yeah, absolute cinema. I don't think there's a better way to put it. 2 games we've seen so far, absolutely stellar gameplay coming from USC Cardinal. Those powerful first round bursts, giving them the momentum they need to take it well into the second half and beyond. Crazy plays coming from both sides, but in particular, I think there is one player in both of our minds that we've got to acknowledge for his crazy skills.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think USC has got their foot on the gas pedal. Cal been trying to answer with some sparks of hope, trying to make some comebacks happen in both of these last maps, but USC has been absolutely electric. We're talking about Andre's Viper's Pits back on Icebox, up there in the rafters where they can't find him. We're talking about these brutal shotgun plays as Cal Blue runs from the Judge and the Bucky. Of course, some things were kind of going Icebox's way on, Cal Blue's way on Icebox. Arctic got that 4K around 17. Axio answered with a really nice hold in the following round, though. I will say Goat on ISO did a lot of work with those 1v1 ults. I counted 3 successful ISO ults for Goat.
Yeah, I think I only counted 1 failed one, so ISO definitely putting out a lot of firepower, but ultimately all he could do was remove 1 person from the equation. But there are still 4 others for him to contend with. And speaking of people, Andre ended round 1 with over 30 kills on his record. Absolutely incredible what he could do with the good old pump shotgun and a bit of a 12 gauge. But it is just insane to see him. Like, USC was trusting him to solo hold entire sites, and he delivered. You go into the Viper's Pit, you are gonna get stung. Yeah, but like, of course, we have credit where credit is due. Cal definitely answered back, especially in the second half. 2 aces coming out from their side, while USC has only really picked up 4Ks and 3Ks. Yeah, incredible gameplay coming in from Cal, especially with their ability to just pin down USC at times. That I think we all remember seeing Arctic's fade just blind spraying down like 3 members of USC's team in a very well calculated assault. They knew that USC liked to push Seaside. They absolutely pounced on it. The fade raise combo just did absolute work on that side.
USC had a really strong approach to that Seaside mound on Lotus, and it was working for quite a few rounds, and it worked after even, but it was that one round that Arctic was really able to call out the positioning through that smoke. Talking more about Lotus, Tsubasa got that 4K round 1, taking another pistol round win. I believe we're 3 for 4, only losing that pistol round in the second half of map 2. Axio got a 4K round 7, 2 of those being off of the Here Comes the Party. And Andere, back to Andere's shotgun plays, that shorty clutch with 4 HP in round 9. I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to be a waterfall play, but he walked right up there to the bomb, got in the smoke, and jumped around with that shorty. Did not let that omen escape. But like you mentioned, so these aces that are Cal Blue is pulling out of their back pocket, go really running away with it around 20. So again, Cal giving us some moments of fright, but USC not backing down.
Yeah, they say that sometimes the most dangerous place to hide is often also the safest. And Andre really just took that one to heart. You could be a defender, but you would not expect a 4 HP Viper to be right beneath you when holding sight. And Andre decided, I'm going to do that. Of course, there were also some other crazy times. I think one very memorable impression that Andre made, especially with his shotgun plays, was that bouncing jump shot with the Bucky near the end on Icebox. That was also an incredible play. He jumped in, played like it was CS:GO, 1 to the face, 2 to the face, and just barely couldn't get 3. But yeah, that man and a shotgun is definitely a masterclass all in itself.
So heading into game 3, I think what we are looking for, it's going to be more of an uphill battle, I think, for USC. I think we kind of caught Cal off guard with Icebox, and I do think Lotus is one of our strongest maps. I think going on to Ascent, it's going to be a level playing field. You kind of talked about it like the Dust 2 of Valorant, and I am inclined to agree. Hopefully we can clean this up with a game 3. I was surprised by our defensive lineup. I guess just as much as Cal was on Icebox, but it did really shine in its own way. I do think Icebox being so cheese-sided, they were able to hold things down. And I do think it's USC's experience with some of these maps that is winning us the day. I think it was really apparent, particularly round 4 of Lotus, when we faked that rotate out of C Mound, and we just had a couple guys spraying onto site, making us fake like a fake rotate so that Cal Blue rotated off, but then everyone was actually still there, so we were able to walk in for free.
Yeah, USC definitely opting for a more defensive side. Of course, we've talked previously about how USC likes double controller setups or to keep their setup mobile, but they've thrown that idea and tossed it on its head. We've seen 2 double initiator setups and one lineup where there wasn't even a duelist at all, and that being the one on Icebox. I think that one definitely caught Blink and I off guard. We were expecting, especially Axio, who is a known duelist player, to at least go some sort of offensive character like Raze or maybe Jet, but instead he picked Omen and decided to play with the rest of the team. And against all odds, that team ended up working wonders. The defensive anchoring of the KJ, combined with the intel and the smokes, got them all the information they needed to not only push strong, but also hold hard against anything that Cal tried to throw at them. It is definitely interesting to see just how unconventional USC's team selections can be, and it is going to be a very curious sight to watch, especially going into Ascent, where everything is on quote-unquote equal footing.
Yeah, great work by USC, staying flexible despite having their heavy knowledge. I do also appreciate Subasa's ability to give up that Omen and Axio to pick up the slack. We are ready for game 3. Let's get into Ascent. USC starting on attack. We're going to head back over the casters. Thanks, guys.
Right back to you guys. See you guys later.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Blank, and thanks, Superb, for that. I definitely think that this next map is going to be the game changer. USC is 2-0 in this BO5. They just need one more map win to secure this championship title. And Ascent is definitely a very OG map. We know Ascent. Everyone knows Ascent. There are some changes, not really. I don't see it kind of affecting them too much, but I'm just curious how this team is really going to play out on this map. Figuring everyone knows what Ascent is. It's the most common map that there is, you know. So, like, everyone knows how to play this map at best. I mean, and kind of seeing what these two teams do, I'm really excited. It does look like USC here is going again without a duelist for this map, kind of doing the double smoke technique again with Viper and Axio on smokes again. I am kind of interested by Subasa's Vise pick here, but I don't know. What are your thoughts? I see that there is another Vise pick on Cal, but it is a more conventional comp from Cal here.
Yeah, definitely so. I do agree that I am a bit surprised to see that Vise pick from Subasa. But knowing that Subasa and Axio both play Omen pretty consistently, there's someone to pick that up. Not seeing that duelist from that side is odd. And especially because I feel like most of the players in the USC team tend to stick to their role, or at least one or two roles. Cal seems to switch it up pretty much. Like, Goat, I think, has played at least 3 different now each game. So it's definitely interesting to see kind of how they're shaking it up. What do you think Cal really needs to swap up to have any chance at winning this map?
I mean, yeah, like what you said, Goat has been playing both Duelist, he played Initiator, and now he's playing Sentinel. I am a little kind of curious as to why the roles are swapped a lot. I mean, maybe it's because people are more comfortable with certain agents on certain maps, and that's probably what it is, or what the case is for Go. USC is a little more, kind of, what's it called? They are a bit more consistent with their players or their agent selection. There is a little swapping happening between Axio and Subasa at times. But I don't know. I feel like Ascent is definitely a jet heavy map as well. So kind of not having a jet on USC is a little shocking for me. I don't think I've ever seen them play this map without a duelist, if I'm being honest. I mean, I don't remember. But yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right here.
I do think that having these unconventional team comps is and has been working on USC's favor for these past 2 maps. So we'll see what happens with this, hopefully last map of the series.
Last place.
Speaking of that jet pick or lack of jet pick there, that jet Oni got a little bit greedy there. B Garage spotted out by that dart, taking down to I think now 5 health. Dadston lurking on the other side of this wall. Andre took a little bit of damage, but so did Goat with some shock darts. Sudge Bubby got called out by that dart. Endocrisis nailed the kill. Dadston getting that kill on Spawns from Heaven, but Joe Shizzle trading out Dadston with the use of that the breach util. Endocrisis shock dart kill on Oni to finish him off. Goat sitting up in Heaven here with only 2 health. Spiky is down. They're going to have to make a move here. Getting ready to drop, but his teammate's going to go look.
Last player standing.
I think it's 3 health.
Andre
Yeah, it's 3
headshot
health.
Goat. Yeah. Arctic sitting up in Heaven all by himself now. Still full health and a sheriff in hand, but is not looking great for him. He's probably going to try to just either get an easy pick here or stall for time and die to Spike. We'll see Andre getting a little bit greedy there, trying to hop up. Arctic did find him. Finding another on Axia, but Josh Shizzle cleaning it up there at the end against Arctic.
Jumping right click
Wow.
for Josh Shizzle.
Man, What do you think about that? Do you think it's worth it? I mean, definitely worth it for them to get those picks off. But I mean, when you think about it, a kill is 200 credits plus an ult orb. You think it's worth it to try to risk it and end up getting killed, or how do you think that plays in their hand?
I mean, I think any type of kind of pistol round win is going to help them kind of secure additional rounds with that bonus and with buy rounds. But yeah, I don't know, like with the Deagle pick, sometimes for me, it's a little like here and there on pistol round. I think that utility, we've seen it through USC and both Cal, how effective utility really is for the teams.
Yeah.
Using the utility and kind of getting that deagle on pistol round, it kind of blocks a lot of that initial utility that some agents can use. And I mean, figuring we saw that from Sova, I mean, he didn't have like
Wow, my
a
eyes are
shock
dumb.
dart for Cal or like a drone to maybe even drone out Hell that round. So I don't know if the deagle pick was the smart choice, but it does work for some players. But I do think that his additional util, I mean, he could have droned out Hell, he could have spammed something with, I don't know, you know? But I
Yeah,
think
definitely.
a deagle pick on pistol round, I think it really depends on what agent you play. Like for a duelist, I think it's fine. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
for someone who has such beneficial util, using a deagle on
30
pistol,
seconds
it's gonna
left.
hurt. It's gonna hurt the team from kind of taking space and kind of clearing your angles.
Yeah. Wow, USC taking up that sneaky market, pushing, it looks like, into B site, cleared it off, rushed on a site, free B site, as Cal pushes away here. They have
10
the
seconds
rifle
left.
advantage as they're doing their second round buy, hoping to take that third bonus.
die.
Tsubasa grabbing Goat, nobody swinging with him. There it is, multi-swing, trying to go maybe for a knife, grabbing Oni, but Sudge Bubby trading out, getting an upgrade. Andre taking out Sudge Bubby before he even have a chance to use that rifle. Taking out a spawn lurk and flank up back here into market because USC knows that the majority of them.
One enemy remaining.
There's the kill on Arctic and Andre triple Dadston. Another round for USC. Wow, we are seeing a repeat of the rounds here. Very much winning these pistol rounds, and I think it's beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I'm gonna be so honest. Like when I win a pistol round, I've never bought a Vandal or a Phantom only because I know I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
But like I think USC just really, they are just winning their gunfights. That's all that is happening right now. I mean, I'm too scared to buy an AK on second round. If I'm being honest.
Oni and Goat finding picks right off the bat against USC with their newfound rifles. Dadston grabbing Axio with a little bit of phantom spray here. This is already a 5v2 with only 20 seconds into this match. Andre penetration shot against Dadston, but Arctic getting Andre as soon as he walks out of the smoke. Endo Crisis is sitting at around 79 health with 6 shields. Looks like he's just going to be waiting to see if anybody tries to get greedy. He's got a bulldog, so it's not a huge loss if he loses it. Just waiting to see if anyone pushes in. Maybe he can get an upgraded rifle here, or potentially a pick here. Man, and like we're saying, I mean, it's only pistol rounds, but I think you'd probably agree. If you win, I mean, the first round of a match, in the second round, it's kind of got that confidence boost, you know, a momentum boost moving forward. Yeah?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean,
30 seconds left.
definitely it does give that confidence with not only because of just that first win, but also
Standing
because
ahead.
of the type of guns that they are kind of working against. I mean, a second round and a buy round with the opponent on a kind of like a half save there. I mean, that momentum is definitely going to really bring up their confidence, but at the same time, it also can get scary for them if they were to win or if they were to lose a bonus, which is kind of what we see happen right now. But I mean, USC is still kind of in decent economy here. They are able to fully buy Vise does have a judge pick for Cal in the market. Kind of confused, but it's like,
Really looking up
he's
really
trying to push
close
up,
here.
looking up with it, and he does get it. Okay, I guess it works.
Yeah, Dadston gets Andre with that judge. Endo finds the head on Sudgebubby and on Oni. Just gonna give them the numbers advantage from that judge kill early on. They with those kills, it looks like they're definitely gonna fold in on the side here. We have Goat pushing up into Garden, watching that push in. They're gonna get hit with that util, but it doesn't matter. Tsubasa grabs Goat sitting there in Garden, which could have been the only problem for them taking the site. They are gonna be able to start getting plant down here as the remainder of Cal pushes in from Garden and Heaven. Dadston sitting in Garden with that judge, and Arctic getting a double for Heaven on Tsubasa and Axio, evening up the numbers here. Definitely not the health though, with Cal having a little bit more to hold on to. Shock Dart trying to grab Endo, getting Arctic. Dadston getting Shizzle, bringing this into a 1v1. 77 versus almost 25 health. Gonna have to play this safe, doesn't know if he's hell. Starting to push to Generator. Thinking about having to grab that spike. They are running out of time. They're swinging. Endo is not able to land the heady on Dadston, giving Cal another round.
Yeah, that crouch kind of peek there is really hard to win.
It definitely is. Endo found those 2 headshots early on, but I mean, couldn't grab that third there. It looks like USC is gonna have to go into kind of a half-buy force situation here.
Yeah, looks like it. We do have a lot of ults kind of coming in from USC. We have the ults from Endo and Andre, and then 2 more potential ults from Josh Izzle and Tsubasa.
Gonna get an early push off here on B, on trying to take some space in Garage, but their Vi's able to use that bloom to keep him at bay. Dadston just doing a little bit of waiting to see if anybody tries to take someone B site. They are pretty far pushed up into mid. Got revealed by that owl drone. Endo doing a little bit of peeking here. Shock drone into market. Does not know that Oni is lurking with an op right below stairs. Could be a challenging move for them as Axio goes to look at mid here. Axio wins the fight against Oni, taking an op down mid. Now USC has the numbers advantage, and that op is on the floor. Andre jump baiting that wall there just to trigger it. Getting hit by the shock dart, losing a nice little chunk of health. Doesn't look like Cal's trying to reclaim that op yet. Goat is sitting here grabbing a double off of pushers. Endochrist is trading out though for Goat, and Sudgebubby getting Endo, bringing this to a 2v3. Op is still down mid fountain. Nobody has yet. Andre has the lurk on Sudgebubby here. Doesn't know he's there. Doesn't check the corner in time. Sudgebubby gets Andre. Still waiting for that push. Axio sitting mid. Looks like he's gonna grab that operator and head out. Double teleporting around these corners just to make sure that nobody's kind of watching any long angles. Looking into spawn, but it does not look like anyone is going to be peeking with that. Vi is pushed out to guard and realizes the operator is gone and what has happened. Sudgebubby shooting down, missing the shot, but gets out with the op by just barely.
Oh my gosh, that was scary.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh,
I mean, taking that op didn't really hurt them, as Oni has enough to buy another one. Axio is going to keep that operator here. I mean, we heard some remarks earlier from our analysts over at Firehouse regarding the Sova wall kind of barrier now. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, I personally like it a lot better. I think it gives Sova a lot more room to be more kind of like a team player, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I think a lot of the time, like with that, like that wall bangable wall right there for Sova to just kind of spam with a dart and like an Odin.
Yeah.
I think it kind of gives him like a way to anchor B, and I personally never liked it.
My world.
I think it works in some cases, but
I agree.
I think having
think
Sova, yeah.
It's better for the push, and I feel like for both sides, kind of removes kind of a cheese strategy. I think at least.
I mean, I think it's fun,
down
definitely
A.
for Sova players.
Off your feet! Not ready yet.
Definitely is fun.
But I think it kind of,
One enemy remaining. 30
I
seconds
think having
left.
Sova more flexible between both sides is what helps them with these wins.
Yeah, and even with that, Cal did not stand a chance. Another op out of their hands. That's really hurting their bottom line. Wow. Man. I don't even know what to say about that round. We had a couple ults go out there, including Andre using that Viper pit there in the middle of the site.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
this map compared to the last two is definitely is game changing. It is a little tighter with these rounds here compared to the last two that we've seen on Icebox and Lotus. But I mean, like I said, this map is, everyone knows this map. It's not really, I feel like because of how old this map is, it is a little more predictable.
I have the spike.
Yeah,
If I'm
definitely.
being honest.
Toxins going up.
And so right now, I think this map is just really about how we can take as much space as possible and how to win those gunfights.
Yeah, which team makes kind of the least amount of mistakes here is going to be a big deal. And USC again going for that mid push as Arctic spams, famous that Phantom spam through those walls. But USC is still full control of market here as Cal is about to be split into two sites with no safe rotate. Andre is approaching over here, grabs Arctic, a little bit of help there from Endo Crisis. Oni trying to back up a little bit here, knowing that spawn is potentially not long safe. Rushing on to B, exploding, trying to take out Dadston. Endo Crisis finds Sudge Bubby. Dadston grabs Tsubasa, but still Endo Crisis cleans it up, getting Dadston there at the very last second, giving them B site to get that play down. They now have complete site control in a 4v2 situation. Oni sitting there and about to get seen by the Owl Drone. Just sees it, so they know where Oni is going to be coming from. They don't know that Cypher is sitting in market there. But they do have site control. They have that operator watching. As soon as Oni peeks out here, actually is going to take a shot here. Knows not to shoot that little jump peek there. Still patiently waiting for his opportunity. Oni just teasing Axio. They're getting tired. They're going to end up rushing for the kill there. Andre is sick of these games. He just goes in for the kill, gets both of them right off the bat, and they clear Spike, giving USC a nice round win. What do you think about that fast push there from Andre at the end?
I think Andre is definitely kill hungry. I mean, that first map with like 35 kills, and the second one with about half of that.
But still only positive.
Yep, he's trying to get that 30 again for those stats. Yeah, but I definitely am really excited, and like just really, I love that how flexible these guys are being. I feel like Andre is the only consistent one here with Viper on every map so far.
The only one stuck to their roles.
Yeah, but I think kind of having some sort of kind of wiggle room to take space and really use their utilities in advantage is what is gonna help them kind of win this series.
Not ready yet.
Looks like Oni didn't want to quite let him take that market control so easily. They opted to go for a garage. Oni's still watching. Cali is on a save round, so USC does have the advantage. Just sees Endo Crisis there, lands the head on both Endo and Andre, giving Cal the numbers advantage despite not having the gun advantage. Joe Shizzle throwing a blind out, but it does not look like they're committing to the push. They know that two people are here and potentially more are rotating, so it looks like they're thinking about pushing off. Although, Axio seems back to the spike there, waiting. Sudge Bubby getting the kill on Tsubasa, lurking on A side. Getting a gun upgrade here. Finding the heady on Joe Shizzle, Axio finally trading out. But go again with that stinger running through, getting a free gun upgrade here. Wow, I've never seen someone use the stinger so much and have it so successful.
Oh my gosh. No, like, you know what's funny is like I watched like I think Tens posted like a tutorial about how to use the stinger accurately, and I swear I tried it and it just didn't work. So like I don't know if I'm the problem or if it's my mouse that's the problem, you know. But I mean, apparently Goat does not have that problem. Apparently he's the goat
No.
of stingers.
Stingers. My goodness,
Yeah, but this
absolutely.
game is definitely a lot closer than the other two have been, evidently, and it is really exciting to see more of a neck and neck game compared to just, you know, like a sweep. But
Oh, absolutely. And it's something from Cal here stacking up. Axio is potentially about to get 3-peaked in Garage, choosing to pull off at just the right time. That could have been bad for them. Although it is going to give Cal the opportunity to get a little bit more space. They know that it's so quiet on B that it's probably not going to be B. USC going for a garden push. Stacked up 4 there, facing up against Sludge Bubby here, who did get the blind off. Andre just going for that phantom span through the smoke, not letting Sludge Bubby push out. I don't know that it is 2 on a site. Sludge Bubby does find the kill on Tsubasa. Andre grabbing Goat. Sludge Bubby getting Endo Crisis in that smoke. Josh Ishel trading out for Endo Crisis and making it. Josh Ishel getting Sludge Bubby. Actually grabbing Arctic, bringing this down to a 3v2. Dadson trying to break that door. Doesn't know that we got someone hiding in the corner. Double coming in from the corner. Oni grabbing Andre. Josh Ishel grabbing Dadston. Bringing this into a 2v1.
right click.
Watching Oni pushed out. Almost no health. Plans to get the kill. Oni. Axio 1v1. Dashes. They're both incredibly low health. Axio finds the kill on Oni, which is going to pull them ahead by 1 point. 4v5. Only 3 rounds left in the half here.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, Oni has really been impressing me this game or this map so far. I mean, those deagle shots from the other round, and even being able to stay alive for that long with 1 HP, like I could never.
Yeah. Yeah. that was just a breath away from dying.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, you are right. This has been incredibly neck and neck. This is what we were seeing a little bit more of 2 weeks ago.
This is maybe why they didn't need a timeout. They got a little more comfortable, now they want to play.
Destin Blind trying to just get some phantom fire out here. Oni's sitting there with the knives out. Looking at that wise wall, it's going to really block them from pushing in if they're not careful. Oni finds the knife, spamming all but 1 into the smoke. They only have that 1 left, and they need to hit it if they want to refill on those knives. So they are waiting patiently. No gun on their secondary means these knives out, they are relinquished to that classic. USC is still holding strong in Garage, though, not choosing to push off. It looks like Cypher Goat sitting on the opposite side and A side. Wait and see if they try to take any space. Omen is teleporting across A, but they're not pushing there. They're still just waiting in Garage. Axio grabbing a little bit of intel from Spawn with his ultimate. Looks like they're trying to make this commit to B site, and finally Goat knows it as he starts to take space. Dadston grabbing Andre with a little spray. Tsubasa headshot Dadston. Tsubasa also sitting Oni down, giving them 3v3. Endo clearing sight. Sludge Bubby, they're still in back site though. They don't know.
1 enemy remaining.
Plant cleared that. Tsubasa took out Arctic, which means Goat with the flank coming from Garage. Plant just went down. 40 seconds on the clock. Goat's got full health, full shields, but other than that, it's a and gonna get hit by those razor lines. He had the opportunity to shoot it, but he didn't. He sacrificed a little bit of health there. Swap it up to this side. There's a wall there. Double peek there. Endo Crisis grabbing Goat. USC swapping it up.
A little interesting. Or a little
Definitely,
interesting.
they why do you think they chose to stick to B instead of rotating? They had the numbers advantage on B.
I think B is definitely in. They know Cypher is on A.
Yeah.
And I think Cypher's util is a little more. It's stronger in terms of holding a site down. For me personally, compared to a Vise, I do think that Vise's util is strong, but it is kind of avoidable. Cypher, you can shock his trips, sure, but that's if
Yeah.
you know where they are. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
that round was a little interesting. I did not expect the knife spray from Oni that round.
Into the smoke,
I'm
yeah.
personally, I would never do that if I had a classic and knives. Sorry, but I mean, I think that B is definitely something. It's a better site to aggress when you have the gun advantage, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and something we're seeing every round here. Cal taking that really aggressive hold on Garage there. They don't want to let him get into that nook. Sudge Bubby is going to have the advantage here once the swing, unless they get this blind out. Going to get stunned by that in Garden. Spraying into the smoke. Sudge Bubby is going to probably end up spraying there. Omen across. Goat looking at this from the other side. Grabs Axio with a stinger. Tsubasa does get Goat from behind with a headshot with that Vandal.
This stinger
Oh my goodness.
guy, like, get him out! Like,
Despite not having a judge, Andre is throwing that Viper Pit down. Steel Garden coming out, going to steal those weapons away. Dad grabbing Andre, bring that Viper Pit back down.
Last player standing.
Tsubasa, oh my goodness. And a complete wipe by Cal there at the very end. Trade after trade. Win for them.
Last round before the switch.
Use everything
That
you
stinger
have.
though, Ryan.
Yeah,
Use the
that
drop.
I don't.
that stinger. I don't even know what the
I don't
hell
even know
is
what to say
happening.
about
But that Vi's ult was so strong there. As soon as I get that Viper Pit out, I mean, if I feel like if Ondo had a shorty there, things could have been a little different. But he decided not to go the shorty route that round.
Yeah. Didn't have that judge to send it home, so.
He didn't have the shoddy shoddy.
Oh boy.
Didn't have the shoddy.
Trademark Dark
Oni's
there. Only
pushed up all the
getting
way
really
mid.
aggressive on this flank. Vi is Tsubasa about to get this pick off. Finds the pick. Dadson trading out Tsubasa still double mid. They didn't expect that. But that means they can take sight. They know that it's light. Endocrisis grabbing Arctic. Dadston getting the Razorvine kill on Andre. Still sitting here in market. Gonna replace that flash hopefully in the next 17 seconds. Spraying through that phantom smoke before the door closes. USC does have sight. They've cleared back sight. Cypher knows where they are. Fortunately, going to be pushing through Garage here. It's a complete 3v3. Dadston getting a kill on Axio and leaving this in a 1v1 situation. Endocrisis getting Sudge Bubby, but Dadston really cleaning it up. 2-0. Tying this up at the end of the first half. What are your thoughts on a tied game?
This is definitely a huge difference compared to Icebox and Lotus. I mean, I don't even think I've seen this. I mean, from USC I mean, USC is I maybe getting a little too comfortable from the first two wins here. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get it to 5 maps. Hopefully not. But but like I said, I think this map is just really about. For both teams, it's gonna be about winning gunfights and how that util is really being thrown out. I mean, compared to the other two maps, like they had very different kind of ways to take control of the site with all the util, and this one USC is kind of going with that util route again. But like I said, this map is OG. Sometimes I feel like you need a duelist on this map specifically. There are maps I don't think you really need a duelist for, but this map I was shocked that they didn't have that duelist pick personally. But
Yeah, it's very surprising.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how both teams are really going to use util on this half to kind of secure their own rounds.
They're trying to give a little bit of intel advantage. Andre grabbing Goat and Sudge Bubby getting Andre there in that trade. Kind of pushing out brazenly through that Cypher cage. Axe getting a little bit aggressive. Gonna have to push Sudge Bubby out. Joe Shizzle does get the kill. Doesn't get out in time. Oni just spraying that Ghost into the smoke. USC does have the numbers advantage right now, but it doesn't mean that that it's all over yet for Cal. They do have a Ghost on hand, even though they're sitting at half health for that jet. Regen shield coming as well for the recharge. Gets shots off here onto Oni grabbing a headshot. Far Josh Chisel and Heaven. Axio is still behind that box,
30
pushing into
seconds
sight,
left.
getting a little bit of intel, knows
One
one
enemy
health.
remaining.
Spray firing into that smoke there. Dadster and Oni finding picks on Endo and Axio. Bring this into a 3v1 situation as
planted.
Tsubasa climbs to Heaven. Ghost in hand. Oni's still sitting really low. Chose not to shoot that. Gonna have to hold still. Onto Oni's jump peeking that because they figured they're probably sitting in the clear lines. Double swing. Lands the first but doesn't land the kill on Oni. He's able to take out Tsubasa. First round goes to Cal.
Yeah, I mean, past this map and last map, I think Cal was able to take piss around both on their attack side.
Yeah.
So definitely, this game is definitely neck and neck compared to the other two, which makes it a little bit more exciting. Yeah, but
Absolutely.
a little sarcasm there. Yeah, definitely different numbers coming from both teams here.
Cal now with those 4 full buy here in hand is got a little bit more aggressive. They're going for a split push with 2 taking A, 2 taking B, and then 1 trying to hold mid there. Sova's got the spike mid. Just jiggle peeking that market, but USC is not really holding market at all, which means it could be a free push up for them.
Not ready
Which
yet.
looks potentially might what they be thinking. Goat's got a side hold, and Vise is holding that garage angle while the other 3 are going up mid slowly towards market and garden. It really depends on what site they're going to take, but it looks like they're going to be trying to take that market side, which in this case is the side that USC is holding a little bit lighter. We're going to get ready for an explosion. Again, USC not seeing anybody trying to push in. They're kind of reorganizing. Andre taking up that mid. If he pokes out of this smoke, he's going to see Spike, which might be beneficial to get Spike down and market. Sitting in that smoke. Cal is being super quiet. They're going through that spawn. Are they going to try to go spawn to A? Because Tsubasa is going to be catching them off guard. Oni grabs Axio. Arctic grabs Andre. They are going to be going for A because Goat is still holding that by himself. Completely their side.
Irrelevant. One enemy remaining.
Dadston lurking, grabbing a double on Endo
10
and
seconds
Shizzle, but
left.
Tsubasa cleans it up on Dadston. It is a 4v1 here. They have the long angles. Smoked off to prevent Tsubasa from pushing up as they kind of resort here. Goat's going to try to get greedy, but Tsubasa flicks to his head. Such Bubby just spraying into that smoke, picking up that fabled stinger, jump peeking that. Tsubasa, it's all about trying to get some guns out of people's hands here. He's going to be swinging this. Such Bubby sitting in heaven, gets the shot on Tsubasa here though. Giving it another round to Cal.
I think this is the first time we're ever seeing Cal in lead for this series.
I think you're right so far. Yeah, it's the first time Cal has pulled ahead. I'm getting a little bit nervous. I don't know about you here, but
I'm definitely getting a little nervous. My palms are sweating. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I think this is definitely a different turnaround compared to Icebox and Lotus here. I think USC is just trying to find their footing on defense here. I mean, hopefully a little bit of a change now that they have guns, but we're just gonna keep seeing what's gonna happen. It is definitely a little different, and a little bit of adjustments had to be made. We don't usually see Tsubasa on the Sentinel pick here, and him playing Vise is gonna be a little shocker.
Andre found that trip pretty close here, trying to get a kill off. Such Bubby grabbing Andre, but Axio grabbing Goat from the other side, which is going to give them an even playing field. Even though Such Bubby is a little lower here on health. For 7, going to make any kind of push an extra dangerous task for him. Oni and Vise are sitting there in garage, just waiting for some action as Omen and Sova try to push through spawn. It looks like they're going for a B commit. They jump trigger that wall, waiting for their team to catch up. Endo's keeping an eye on that garage though for any kind of push-ins. Cal does still have smokes to get them in sight, but a decent amount of util here still. As
It looks like Endo canceled that dart. Like he could have seen all of them. Looks like he's gonna re-dart
30 seconds left.
different position here.
Interesting dart there, yeah. Bouncing Oni, closing market door there and exploding on the site. Grabbing Endo, the only one holding main site. They still have someone in back here, which Boss is able to get Oni from that surprise little back there and kill on Such Bubby and a kill on Dadston. Tsubasa getting a 4K here to clean up that round. First round this half for USC.
Wow, I mean Tsubasa just really held the fort down there.
Tsubasa is showing up in these rounds here, especially in this latter half.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, you don't really see Tsubasa on Sentinel. I mean, he was playing KJ that first Icebox map, but knowing Tsubasa traditionally, he's not known to play a Sentinel. And kind of seeing how he really just uses his util to just hold it down and kind of show everyone, like, hey, I can hold a site on my own. Like, I don't need you guys. Just figure out where everyone else is. And he really did that with that 4K.
Yeah, absolutely. But Bubby does not know that Axio is sitting here in the corner here. Axio grabbing the kill on Such Bubby there, but now he knows. Andre coming out with the judge. Fire it through the smoke. Axio just getting out, getting hit by that shock dart. It's going to put a little dent in his health there. But this leaves USC with a big numbers advantage. Swapping out guns, Andre juggling that judge over there just in case they want to use it again. Oni sitting here watching Tree. Axio watching for that push in. Andre getting a little bit wide swing just to see if anyone's going to push in here. Oni is going to have two sites locked onto them.
Yeah, and Vise from Cal or Datston just picking up that spike from spawn and kind of just regrouping here with Oni and Arctic. Looks like they kind of want to aim a little bit towards mid, probably towards a B push, but Endo's kind of juggling up there, seeing if he can get a pick or get some information on where the team's going. And it looks like they are hitting towards market, with Tsubasa still anchoring the fort down on B. The ult is popped off. Gives
Which
them the
grabs
advantage.
all three of them. They're going to just try to rush Tsubasa to backside. Tsubasa grabs one, Axio grabs the other. Dadston does get Tsubasa, but Endo cleans it up there at the very end, grabbing Dadston.
We're back at an 8-8 tie.
8-8. We saw on that first map on Icebox, you mentioned that Tsubasa was playing first time out coming in from Cal here, expected though. We saw Tsubasa playing that KJ, and that's something that we've seen. KJ was kind of out of the standard picks for quite a while, and has recently, I think at least, seen a reinsurgence in pick rate. What do you think about KJ's kind of return to the meta scene here?
I mean, I think KJ is a good map on any map, frankly. Like, KJ is so versatile, and she has so much util that can really just hold so much space. Yeah, she does have a range for flank and spawn, but honestly, the amount of space that you can take with KJ util, like with your turret kind of watching your back, or even an alarm bot watching the other side of your back, you know what I mean? And so traditionally, KJ, yeah, has not really been played often, but it still works. And I think those Sage picks from like back then, like OG times, like those don't really happen as much anymore, as her util is just so avoidable. It's breakable. It's not really gonna help take space and control, and I think that's what USC is really wanting to do. They just really need to they just really want to just take control of their position, and we've seen that from Tsubasa, really just kind of anchoring mid there. Also just with Vise here, he's really just anchoring B and just holding it down, getting those picks, winning those gunfights, and using his util to his advantage to get that information. And I think... Oh, wow.
Oni just dashing in and grabbing the pick off Tsubasa early on. Axio does get goat, giving Oni sight.
Maybe I jinxed it. I mean, at least Oni didn't, you know, like knife span through smokes this time, but...
Yeah, this time. There's still time, plenty of time
got my
here.
tongue that round. I definitely jinxed it somehow, some way. This is what I get for glazing Tsubasa sometimes.
Right, honestly.
Nowhere to run!
Steel Garden coming online. We also have Hunter's Fury going to try to take out any of USC people we can. Doesn't really take anyone. Looks like it knocked Andre down. Andre gets a pistol kill on Such Bubby. Dadston does grab Axio here. Oni knives back in the pocket. Andre doing a little spam. No penetration kill, but Joe Shizzle does clean up that Oni. The last two are sitting here in the back.
Last player standing. One enemy
There's
remaining.
one. Does Andre get the last one? They're almost out of time if they choose. Dadston's just buying that time. Sneaks up behind and does get the shot back on Andre with that share.
It was a nice try for the retake for USC, but I mean, yeah, this match, this game is definitely getting a lot tighter. I'm wondering if USC will ever have a timeout.
You know,
I've seen about 5 from
don't-
Cal already.
I don't think I've seen USC use a timeout so far. Maybe once. I think in the entire series. But Cal loves their timeouts.
Yeah, I mean,
the last time we played Cal, I believe they used all of them. I believe they used all 6.
Yep.
And obviously, you know, it's a best of 5, so they get 10 this time, assuming all 5 maps are played.
yeah, I think so far, what is it? 1, 2, 3. They've used 4 so far, I believe.
Yeah. But it is, again, a kind of a slow push here from Cal. It's leaving that spike in spawn. They did that last round, and I think it paid off. They don't want to lose that spike in a bad spot. Nextio knows that Goat is sitting there throughout a cage, but doesn't really know if anybody else is accompanying them. They kind of let Oni push up market a little bit free. Andre just jiggling around there in the back, waiting for something to happen. They are gonna. Looks like they are gonna try to take market again. Oni and Dadson pushing that. Andre holding still a very passive angle, just to make sure they don't get in spawn. And the jumping spam must have warded them off a little bit. They chose to go catwalk instead as Ender Crisis and Andre push in here.
Standing ahead.
Viper Pit holding him off and pushing in the site, and that Dart trying to get a little into the way. Andre finding Gadsden through the smoke, just players. Again, hiding in this corner. Ender Crisis doesn't get the kill on Arctic. Andre does, though, trading out, and random spam through that smoke, getting Oni. Such Bubby does get Tsubasa, though, and Goat gets a running headshot on Axio, leaving this in a 2v2. Andre spamming through the smoke, just hoping for a kill. Viper Pit online from Garden. Took that door down. Goats going into Hell. Joe Shizzle finding Such Bubby. Last is in Hell. Not sure if they entirely know that. Goats can try to push into the smokes to see if he can find Andre.
Wow.
Andre finds him first.
Honestly, I thought Goat had a stinger there when he killed whoever that was. I was like, oh my god, because I think he has the prelude, Vandal, and the stinger. We see him. He has another stinger this round. Okay, he got rid of the stinger, and now he has a ghost. But I mean, I seriously thought he had a stinger. The way he was running kind of. Just running and gunning Axio there on wine. I was like, oh my god, the stinger again.
Again, yeah, this...
But I mean, I guess it was a Vandal.
It was a Vandal, and yeah, with that, looks like Cal's on a nice little save round here, which means USC is going to have the gun advantage, getting some early damage here on Oni at the very start. Axio holding that Outlaw, which will come in handy because most of them are one-shot. There goes Oni from the Outlaw. Axio has to reload. Dadston unsure if they cross back over, getting flashed, forced to push out of garage. Still trying to hold that angle.
The bomb, I said spawn. The spike is still in, the bomb is still in spawn. and we have Studge, but we kind of picking up mid with Goat here with with Silva kind of trying to take space in Cat or just holding, I'm not sure. And Bomb is kind of rotating towards A site. I'm kind of curious to see what Cal is trying to pull off here. Maybe they're just trying to get a pick.
I really think they must be trying to go for a pick. A lot of them, like I said, because they did do that save, a lot of them were one-shot to that Outlaw, so they gotta be careful with those push-ups. Dadston did grab the spike and has it and is heading A through A main.
30 seconds left.
Not actively looking at that A main. Dadston is kind of jiggling that. Vyze is currently trained on tree. Joe Shizzle finding Goat and Andre finding Sudge Bubby in almost the same second here is going to give him an even further numbers advantage, 5v2, with the last two. Spots just sitting behind this rock, spraying towards Dadston. Arctic finds Enterprises, ring around the Rosie. Dadston grabs Tsubasa, Arctic grabs Josh Shizzle. They're going to get some free guns here in a second. It is now a 2v1. Dadston was able to pick up a gun, a little bit dinked to health, but has most of the util here for this post-plant situation. Door can still be moved down. They're going to clear out tree. It looks like they're wrapping to heaven. Glass is already broken, so they can do so silently. You're going to have no idea what's going to hit them unless they're silent for too long. They're going to be able to sit in that smoke, but I don't know if Dadston expects them to just clutch the defuse here. Dropping down into the smoke. Andre already expected it, grabbing Dadston as he falls down. Nice round win for USC.
Well played by USC.
Wow. They actually could almost stuck that there.
Yeah. I'm surprised that plant even, I mean, that plant was so close. He planted right at 4 seconds and 4.2 seconds, I believe.
Yeah.
I think it's like 3.8 seconds to plant the bomb. So he got it just on time.
Very short on time. You know, something I think we're seeing is Dadston's really bringing it this game, in the lead with kills.
Yeah, I mean, I told you in the beginning that I was I was curious to see how both Vises would really play this map, and clearly they've really been, both Tsubasa and Dadston have really kind of showed what Vise is capable of on Ascent. I mean, Vise is a new agent, and Ascent is known for the traditional agents that you usually play, like Phoenix and Sova, Omen, you know, or Jet. So these unconventional comps that both teams have really been putting out there, both for every single map that they've played so far, is definitely a good point to make per Superb and Blink's remarks earlier. Yeah,
oh, very much so. Wow, ulted in tree. That's really unfortunate for Cal. No man died to that though. Sudgebubby did get Joe Shizzle and Endocrisis traded Joe Shizzle out by getting Sudgebubby. So the numbers is in favor with Tsubasa grabbing Goat. It's a tied up game. Axio not able to grab Arctic in the corner, and Oni grabbing Endocrisis before he can trade him out. Tsubasa sitting outside alone. Dadston cleaning that up. Tsubasa with a clean headshot from main. Wow.
Damn, this game is tight.
Back and forth.
It's very back and forth.
One thing that I was actually kind of surprised not to see was KO. In the past, we've seen a lot of KO from other teams, and including our own. And just recently, he received a couple of buffs, and I'm a little bit surprised. What are your thoughts? Why do you not think they picked KO on any of these maps so far?
I think KO is strong, but I feel like I think any double initiator comp is good, and for USC, I think Breach has really been a agent that they've been playing a lot. We've seen Breach on Haven a lot. We've seen it on Lotus just recently, and even I think Fracture they use Breach too. So I mean, having both the info and the flash, I don't think KO is like the necessary pick. I think that he is good, but I think that his util is definitely something that can be kind of complemented through other agents as well. I mean, he does have like the suppression, and like he has the flashes as well. But definitely I think with that Vise and the Breach, I don't think KO is really needed personally. USC does do a really good job in kind of really taking advantage of both initiator utilities. So
yeah.
I think KO isn't necessary. He would have been good. I think it would have been fun to watch, but definitely not the deal breaker here.
30 seconds left.
So far, a pretty standard push that we've seen from KO. Andre is able to fix Tsubasa getting a headshot there with a quick peek on Dadston, leaving Goat alone in A main. And Sova to push out of Quinnet. Missed the wall trip the first time. Arctic pushing alone towards Jen without Goat watching that cross. Able to get Tsubasa, but that Breach util is going to clear him out. Axio gets the shot on Goat from tree. So Shizzle, Arctic, Endocrisis trades out though on Arctic. Giving USC one round up.
Yeah, I mean, these rounds are getting really intense here. I mean, we kind of go back and forth with who wins these rounds, and looks like Cal is going to use their 6th timeout for this series. And still kind of waiting on a timeout from USC, but I guess a timeout for Cal is also a timeout for USC in a sense. But yeah, I mean, like I said, these rounds are going back and forth. I mean, we saw the ever since the 8-6, it was 8-7, and then 8-8, and then it was 9-8, then 9-9, then 10-9, then 10-10, and now we're at 10-11 here. And I mean, I'm kind of just, I don't know, this might be a long game, Darnell.
This is shaping up to be a long game. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see if we go into OT. We already did go into OT, I believe, against Cal last time. 2 of the games I do think went to OT. One of the games went, I think, triple OT, if I remember correctly. So
yes.
This is shaping up to be a long game indeed.
Yep.
But at least there's no more timeouts from Cal. USC still has both on hand. Then again, USC's got a little bit more breathing room, right? I'm sure they want to win as cleanly as possible, but they could potentially lose 2 maps without, it being over. So
don't jinx it, Darnell. Don't jinx
I would never. Well, it looks like they're changing it up a little bit here, having a triple go into B garage, followed closely by Sova here. Goes holding an A push out alone, but USC's not really holding A. They're kind of leaning around. They pushed in to double check, but they were sitting mid for the most part. They are stocked up in B garage right now. Buys Dadston triggering with a jump trigger. That's the one disadvantage, kind of watching that wall a little bit actively. Axio does pick off Oni there. I believe that was in mid that they did that. Axio going to be re-peeking mid to see at least 1, maybe 2 people there. He's going to start smoking off A main, just in case it's an A main push, but all of them are currently mid. A garden, tree is currently smoked up, was smoked off. It looks like they're rotating the tree. Joe Shizzle is watching that garden angle though, so he's gonna have first contact when they push up. Goat and Omen are pushing up market though. Andre finds such Bubby right off the bat. Goat is still sitting there. Andre, a little bit of phantom spam, bringing Goat down to half health. It's gonna give them a little bit of an advantage here. 5v3. Doubling up on market there, leaning towards that B push. Axio watching that mid, pushing into Fountain, flanking. Axio pushes into Fountain and looks up mid. He's going to have a clean view onto 3 of them. Dadston does grab Endocrisis sitting in spawn. Axio's just a little bit late. Joe Shizzle is able to pick off 2. There's the third. A nice triple lurk there from Joe Shizzle.
We are match point again for USC.
Wow, yeah, match point and no timeouts from Cal on board. I bet they were really wishing they could throw another timeout there right about now.
Yep. I am a little surprised that there hasn't been any, like, from all games so far, there hasn't really been like a fast rush, if I think, like, right off the bat. You know what I mean? I think so far, like, every single game and round that we've seen from both teams on attack, it's kind of been like figuring out where everyone is first, and then once they figure it out, that's when they kind of like, okay, like, oh, no one's on A, then we're gonna rush C. But I mean, I haven't seen like any like, okay, we're rushing B off the rip. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I haven't seen
very,
that, and
like, methodical.
I mean, I don't really know much about how competitive, how much different it is, honestly. But
yeah.
I mean, because I don't know, I feel like the fast rushes do kind of work on Cal's advantage when they kind of just storm out after kind of getting a pick or figuring out where everyone is. It looks like they are going to do something similar here right now, as I mentioned, but Tsubasa is able to get that pick on site, kind of holding the fort down, moving it to a 4v1 now with USC match point and Arctic stuck at main, and Endo gets the kill, and that is a 3-0 from USC.
Wow, a 3-0 in grand finals against Cal, especially considering how neck and neck it was.
Yeah, that's insane. Like, that last map, I really thought there was gonna be a map 4. I'm gonna be honest, but I mean, figuring how far USC has come and like just being able to be in the grand finals for the first time in CVal for USC. Like, this is exciting. I'm so proud. And watching these
Yeah.
past games just showed how, like, what a great team that they have been and how much they really pushed through this season. Yeah, what are your final thoughts on the last game?
Wow, I would have never expected in maybe not a million years, but definitely that a 3-0 right off the bat from Cal. The first two games just not necessarily even close. This one was the closest, kind of what we saw 2 weeks ago, but even still winning that there 3-0 in Cal after it was so close. It must be a very proud moment, especially for you, the Val president. I think nice to see them go to grand finals and win it.
Yeah, I mean, not just that. Like, as this is also my last year as Val president. I'm graduated, so yeah, just kind of being able to have this last hurrah is so exciting. It makes me so proud. I'm incredibly grateful to have been a part of this organization, and I think definitely this team has really grown from what it was before to what it is now. And yeah, I mean, GG's to Cal. I think that's exciting. I do want to send it over to our analyst desk where we will also talk to Superb, who actually is going to be replacing me as president. So I am very excited to see how he takes this team throughout the next couple years as president. But yeah, I am incredibly honored to be here today. I'm really happy for our team. Very proud. That was an insane 3 games, and I'm also very thankful there wasn't 5 because I'm sleepy and my voice is starting to hurt. But that was amazing. I applaud everybody. Thank you, Darnell. Yeah, like, we can just send it over to analyst and say hi to your new USC Val president.
And what a show it was. 3-0 sweep for USC Cardinal. And hello to our new Cardinal USC Valorant president. I had no idea that I was sitting next to such royalty.
I didn't know I was getting promoted either, so hello everyone. Just to reintroduce myself, I am Superb, your new USC Valorant president. Here from the analyst desk. Going to tell you just the absolute cinema that we just witnessed. I think by far there could not have been a better close to this series than that absolutely deadlocked game that we had on Ascent. Both teams fought hard to make sure that to make sure that final nail was in Cal's coffin, and how fitting it was that on the site that we were most tied in, most evenly matched up on, that we would prevail and take home grand finals on the crown. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
That's what it was. I mean, all hope seemed lost there for a second. We were running neck and neck with Kowloon, like, oh gosh, this could go to game 4, this could go to game 5. We were stuck in that tight knot. Andre kept getting caught out. Our pushes weren't going through. When all hope seemed lost, Tsubasa stepping up to the plate, locking down B site, being able to switch right over to A site. It didn't matter. A huge 4K in round 15 that really switched things around for us, changed up the momentum, and got us into that last leg race.
I told you at the start, the 2 players to look out for are Andre and Tsubasa, right? Like, they're notable kill streaks going across the board, but they could not have done it without their team. Endo Crisis, that intel that he gave us was so vital, and Axial just caused an absolute disruption along the front line with and of course who could forget Josh Izzle, just making sure that he is there for his team all the way, supporting them with intel, with breach, with disruptions, with entries. It is the absolute chemistry of this team that managed to pull them through this far, and I could not be more proud of them.
And it's the team composition of USC that wins the day, yeah? Not everyone does it like us, 2 controllers, 2 initiators, but switching off Sentinel for Duelist even, like, that was new for us even. And I think it's really what won us the edge. We saw Oni on that last game getting enough value, I think, out of jet knives, out of that dash. But that's really where the utility ends for that duelist player. And I think having 5 agents that can really just output all of this pressure with their utility is what gives USC the edge in some of these fights.
Indeed, having a jet dead give Cal a very explosive and unpredictable entry, especially with just how nimble and slippery a jet is, especially when her knives are out. But the unconventional tactics of the double initiator, double controllers that gave us the rigidity, but also the fluidity to just move between sites, making sure that we have adequate setup and also defenses for each site, while also making sure that we had enough power to attack back. Because in this game, it is information that wins, and just like in all tactical shooters. And having the right intel, knowing where your enemies are at all times, that is what gave them the edge to absolutely take home this cake. So it was definitely a war of information and war of attrition, and it looks like Cal blinked one too many times.
And what a way to wrap up the season. I've had so much fun casting all these games. I know you've been having a great time running the show behind the scenes, and glad to see kind of that payoff for you in terms of your new role for USC Valorant. Anything else we here at the watch party should know, and anyone else at home should know?
Well, I do believe that I represent the all of USC esports when I say this, but this is who we are. We are a bunch of go-getters who will stop at nothing to make sure that we reach the top, and we are hard fighters, and our team has certainly proved that. And of course, to the members of USC Cardinal, Endocrisis, Andre Axio, Tsubasa, and Josh Hizzle, you guys are absolute troopers. I could not have asked for a better team and a more talented roster of players to take home this cake, especially with so many of you, reaching the end of your times here at USC. I hope that these skills that you have gained with us will take you long ways throughout your careers.
Aww. It's beautiful. It's like we're in a movie or something.
Well, it feels like absolute cinema. I will give you that.
All right. Great job. GG's to Cal Blue, but great job, USC Cardinal. Fight on. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Fight on, everyone.